SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. Pro Football Hall of Fame running back Jim Brown has died at his home in Los Angeles. Brown retired in the prime of his career to become an actor and later a social activist. He played on the Cleveland Browns' last NFL title team in 1964. Jim Brown was 87 years old. After dropping Game 1 at home for the second straight series, the Celtics will try to square the Eastern Conference Finals tonight against the Heat. Boston guard Marcus Smart.
Excited, very excited. We get to come back and have a Game 2 on our home floor. We get to come back and redeem ourselves. Try to, even the series. So this is always a great feeling. It's always a great day to be able to come out here and play in these games.
Marcus Smart, Game 2 for the Celtics and Heat. Our coverage starts at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio. First mission is scratched from tomorrow's Preakness. Vets found an issue with the horse's left hind ankle. That cuts the field down to 7 for the race. Kentucky Derby winner Mage is the favorite at 8-5.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt. Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. Theriot, 1 hour from right now. Computers hate the Saints offense. Tigers offer the number 1 player in the country for 2025. But let's get this thing rolling.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
1-2 pitch. Got him! LSU an 8-5 victory over the Georgia Bulldogs.
And that's how it sounded after Thatcher Hurd got a punchy to punctuate a Game 1 win. LSU beats Georgia 8-5 in 12. Boy, they did it by the hardest, but they did it. And now we'll delve into the game itself. But there are some big picture things to take away from this win for LSU. So let's start there with what the win itself mean before we go into the nuance of the win. So LSU, with the win over Georgia, moves to 18-9 in conference play. That win locks up a top 4 for LSU, meaning they get a bye at the SEC tournament. The way the field is structured, and my apologies, I totally screwed this up yesterday when talking about it because I used the term double bye, which is what they use in basketball. Essentially, the first day of the tournament, Tuesday, there are 4 games. 2 teams do not make the tournament. 12 teams make it. The first day, 8 teams play. The top 4 get a bye. They automatically advance to Wednesday. Tuesday, a single elimination. If you win Tuesday, you advance to play the 4 teams that had a bye. If you lose Tuesday, you're done. So LSU, by being a top 4, does not have to play Tuesday. That's an extra day's rest, an extra day to preserve your pitching and set it up for the tournament, and you automatically play into the double elimination portion of the tournament, giving you an opportunity to assure Paul Skeens pitching in Hoover, very likely not on Wednesday, but probably on Thursday, which most certainly means you'll win at least 1 game in Hoover and further solidify yourself as a national seed. So, number 1, that was massive. I'll tell you, whenever you look at LSU's RPI right now, and not just the RPI, which is at 4, the entirety of the resume. LSU's RPI is 4. Wake Forest is 1. Kentucky 2. Arkansas is 3. LSU is 4. Followed by South Carolina, Florida, Clemson, Vandy. That's your top 8 RPI as of right now. You can pull this up, Paul, if you want. LSU at 41-12. Right now, that's more wins than Kentucky, who's second in the RPI. 2 more wins than Arkansas, which is third in the RPI. South Carolina has 37 wins. Florida has 1 more win. I'm sorry, the same number of wins as you at 41 wins. Vanderbilt, 35 wins. So you understand, LSU's win total shapes up nicely. Strength of schedule, LSU's strength of schedule is 14th. That's very healthy and respectable. And when you look at quad 1 wins, LSU is 17-10. So that's 17 quad 1 wins if you're looking at LSU's resume. So this is a very healthy resume. LSU is a top 4 team in the SEC. They've locked that up. And there are very likely going to be 4 SEC teams that get a top 8 national seed. LSU is going to be one of them. That win last night should all but solidify that for LSU. Now, if they lose the next 2 against Georgia, they go 2-out in Hoover. Could you maybe have some tense moments if somebody gets hot? Maybe. But one more win absolutely, completely stamps this. They lock it up and throw away the key national seed for LSU. So the win last night was significant for many reasons. Locking up a top 4 in Hoover, and for all intents and purposes, locking up a national seed. But one more would make it not even a question. Let's talk about the game itself here for a few. So I know everybody's immediately going to go to the 9th inning. And I understand it, because most of the fan angst has centered around the bullpen and the bullpen struggles, and there's a lot of validity. I mean, you're coming off a weekend where you blew 2 games against the worst team in the conference. You had a 2-run lead in the 8th. Game 2 against Mississippi State, blew it. And then you had a 9-run lead on Sunday against Mississippi State and blew it. So I understand if that's where the angst is and that's where people want to start. I'll get why you want to start in the 9th with Thatcher Hurd giving up the 2 homers. I could certainly point out that I hate that Biddy ballpark, and that certainly the first home run that Hurd gave up in the 9th would have been a routine fly ball at the box. But you're playing in that ballpark, and it left the yard, and that's just what it is. The thing I'll say also is that if you look at Thatcher Hurd and I say, man, Thatcher Hurd is going to give you 5 innings of 3-hit, 2-run baseball with 5 strikeouts and just 1 walk on 71 pitches, you, I, and everyone else, we're taking that every day of the week. So, yes, the 9th inning sucked the way that it played out, but how about the composure Thatcher Hurd showed time and time again? Not just, after giving up the second homer, but to come back and get Condon to ground out on the next batter to get out of the 9th. I mean, he could have thrown a meat ball and been walked off right there. But can we also mention what happened in the 8th inning? I mean, that's the thing that we're not going to talk about much at all, because it's easy to talk about the things that happen subsequent. But to start the 8th inning, Riley Cooper was in there, faced 1 hitter and walked him. Now, Riley Cooper was squeezed. I think he had a strikeout looking, and we could talk about the home plate ump, which was very inconsistent. I think both fan bases were, and both teams were displeased with the home plate umpire last night. But Hurd comes in, gets a strikeout, then a walk, so you got 2 on, and then you have the fielder's choice, where the runner advanced to third. You get the out at second, so you get 2 outs, and Thatcher Hurd makes the pitch. He gets a pop-up on the infield, and Jordan Thompson drops it. It sucks, but it happened. A run scored when you should have been back in the dugout up 2. But instead of being up 2, you're up 1, back in the dugout now. And by the way, in that situation, Hurd could have folded, didn't, got a pop-up on the next play. And it was an adventure, but hat tip Gavin Dugas for coming over and making the play. Point is, there were times there. I could talk about the 10th inning, after LSU goes quietly in the 10th, and Hurd gives up a leadoff single. After that leadoff single, he got a double play and then a strikeout to get out of the 10th. LSU in the 11th blew a golden opportunity with the bases loaded, 1 out, Cruz and White up, and they come up with nothing. Georgia's amped. Hurd comes out there in the 11th, ground out, strikeout, pop out. Boom. Sit down, shut up. And then, of course, you get the 3-run 12th, and then he comes out in the 12th, strikeout, ground out, strikeout to end it. There were a lot of pressure moments, and Thatcher Hurd rose to the occasion. Jay Johnson has literally said this since media day to open the season, when he said, if we are going to win anything of significance, Thatcher Hurd is going to have to be a big part of that. It has not gone the way any of us expected it would this season for Thatcher Hurd, but if he is coming into his own, and I get it. I get the fact that he blew the save on Saturday last week against Mississippi State, but he was nails the week before on Friday night. He was nails the week before on Saturday against Alabama. And last night was, I would argue, his best outing of the entire season, considering the circumstance, even in spite of what happened in the 9th inning. So if Thatcher Hurd is molding into the thing we all expected he would and could be, that's a major, major win for LSU at this point when you are looking for guys that you can count on. A couple of other observations. Obviously, you hit 6 homers. You needed all of them. Travinsky continues to be a man on fire. Dylan Cruz had 3 strikeouts in the game. He was got caught looking on 2 of them, and I think both of them were good takes, quite honestly. Dylan Cruz has a great eye. That's the first time all season he struck out 3 times. I loved seeing the home run in the 9th because he even showed some emotion, which you rarely ever see from Dylan Cruz. He's been fighting it a little bit. We're all going to look at the 11th in that spot where he got caught looking with the bases loaded. I thought it was a good take, but they punched him out. So, what are you going to do? And look, I mean, there were a couple other situations. I know we always go round and round on this. I could look at the 11th where they decided to bunt Milazzo. And I mean, y'all know my feeling. I hate bunting. And it's not just me. In an age where analytics continue to rule and we continue to know more and more about every situation, and baseball is a game of averages and percentages, bunting is not the play. And you bunted Alex Milazzo after they hit Joe Bear. Was wild on a couple of pitches before Milazzo got the bunt down. You give up the out. He then subsequently walks the next 2 hitters, and so you've got the bases loaded with 1 out. He walked Ben DePolt, y'all. I mean, you gave an out to a pitcher that was struggling to find it. So I hate bunting. You all know that. It always, some of you, well, you can argue situationally it feels like the right thing to do. It's not. You saw it again in the 12th. Josh Pearson squared to bunt. He took the pitch and then ultimately hit a homer. So don't bunt, swing away, hit dingers. That's what this team does. They're going to be better swinging away. I'll say it all the time. Bunting feels like the right thing to do at times. It's not. We live in an analytical age where statistics prove it is never the percentage play to bunt. You think it is. It's not. So that's why bunting is at a 40-year low in Major League Baseball right now. Statistically, it is not the right play. And you saw it again last night in a couple situations for LSU. But the bottom line is, y'all, Georgia had to use 6 pitchers and some guys they really count on out of the bullpen. Scott Strickland went after it last night. I mean, he saw they had an opportunity to win a game started by Paul Skeens, and he went to go get it, and they didn't. So LSU is in a really advantageous situation. You burned Skeens and you burned Hurd for the rest of the weekend, but my goodness, Ty Floyd's been really good over the last month. See if he can go give you a good start. See if you can put some good swings on it tonight. Win the game, win the series, secure your national seed, and look ahead to Hoover. Game 3, of course, on Saturday, then look ahead to Hoover. All right, glad to have you aboard with us here. LSU wins. Our open every day is brought to you by our friends over at Bud Light. Lots going on, man. Mockler Beverage is sponsoring, is the presenting sponsor tonight for Live After 5. So if you're in Baton Rouge or going to be around downtown Baton Rouge, Live After 5, the Michael Foster Project. It is a free outdoor concert series. Love telling you about our friends over at Mockler. Just been so great community partners for years. I mean, think about when the storms come, they turn off their beer production and they filled cans with water and brought them and donated. That's just what great community partners they've been for 40 years. Tomorrow, Paris County Line, sponsored by Bud Light at the Crawfish Hole from 11 a.m. until, and then Sunday. Excited about this. Budweiser is the title sponsor for Smoke 'em If You Got 'em. Mockler Beverage, great sponsor for it'll be at Beausoleil. We talked about it with Clay Young yesterday, benefiting great military charities. So you support our military, you support our war heroes, our veterans. Mockler Beverage is glad to stand by them as well. And we'll be at Beausoleil on Sunday. Hope to see a lot of you there for Smoke 'em If You Got 'em at 4 o'clock. Bud Light, official beer of AFR. Okay, we'll knock out our first break of the show. Speaking of Smoke 'em If You Got 'em, of course, Don Juan Cigar Bar is one of the sponsors of Smoke 'em If You Got 'em. So when you walk in, It's complimentary beverages, including beer from Mockler Beverage, complimentary cigar for every participant, every guest, courtesy of Don Juan. And we'll look forward to being there on Sunday. Okay, quick break. Theriot in 45 minutes. Tons of baseball talk today, as you would anticipate. We will go around the SEC in about 15 minutes, but I want to hit on this when we come back. I'll get to some of your texts, emails, tweets, all that stuff when we come back. But there is one metric that absolutely hates the New Orleans Saints offense for 2023, and I fundamentally disagree with it. I'll explain why next on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Give them a buzz. Remember, we're heading into the weekend. Temperatures are going up, up, up. If your AC isn't keeping up, call River City's 1 Hour Air. They'll never charge you extra to come out nights, holidays, or weekends. I love reading 5-star Google reviews. Here's one from Brennan Morris, who said Todd, their technician, was incredibly nice and a great help to us. We are fully operational and cooling down as we speak. Another 5-star Google review, hat tip to Todd, the technician, who took care of the Morris family. And if you have an issue with your AC, River City's 1 Hour Air will be on time or you don't pay a dime. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. A great Louisiana company with great technicians, all of their expert care. They'll give you a good, better, best option. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
As we crawl throughout the offseason, you're going to see tons of comments and commentary, lists and projections, and some of them have merit and some don't. Here I like to lean more on Vegas odds makers, sports books, primarily because there is no bias. That, and then I also think it's interesting to look at what computers and other models and metrics say. I'm not quite as interested in the subjective opinions of people who cover the sport, because we all have them, and we can all have them, and they can have merit. They could be right or wrong. But I like to look at things that tend to be objective in nature and to see what computer models may think. What do the odds makers think? Well, ran across one today from Pro Football Network. And Pro Football Network ranked the offenses in the NFL for 2023. And they put a model together to put this ranking together. And the model consisted of a lot of different criteria. I don't want to bore you with it, but just very quickly, kind of the way they did it. They looked at the expectations for quarterbacks, which were weighted heavily. Is it a returning starter? Is it newly drafted rookie? They modeled expected quarterback performance based on points per play over the previous 3 years, plus the typical performance of a starter based on their years in the league draft position. They also accounted for free agency, draft changes, other positions like receiver, tight end, running back, etc. So this was a metric that they built and shoved all the data into their algorithm and spit it out to see how it would work. And naturally, of course, Kansas City had the number 1 offense, Buffalo 2, Philly 3, followed by Cincinnati, Miami. The New York Jets, makes sense, right? Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. Ravens, Niners 8, Chargers 9, Dallas 10. And you got to go a good long way before you get to New Orleans, who Pro Football Network, their model, their metric, says the Saints are going to have the 22nd best offense in the NFL, meaning 11th from the bottom. As a matter of fact, just one spot ahead of the Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay Packers. Of the Saints, they say Derek Carr should help the offense improve in big ways, but the receiving corps isn't projected to do well outside of Chris Olave. It could be the case that we see the old Michael Thomas, which would be a huge help, but hoping for that, along with an offensive line that is definitely not what it once was, is a bit much. Okay, so there is the write-up on the Saints. For what it's worth, the Saints are one spot behind the Cleveland Browns, who, yes, they have Deshaun Watson, but were largely atrocious for much of last season, who lost to the Saints in the cold weather game up in Cleveland in December. So I think if you've been kind of following along here ever since the Saints made the move for Derek Carr, you know my feeling on it. I do not like the move. I did not like the Saints signing Derek Carr. The thing that a lot of you have either forgotten or just blatantly ignored whenever you criticize me for this is I have also said the Saints are objectively their best version, the best version of themselves in 2023 with Derek Carr over any other realistic option, over Andy Dalton, over Jameis Winston, over drafting a player, over going and signing someone like Jimmy Garoppolo. With Derek Carr in 2023, the Saints are, in my opinion, the best version of themselves. However, I believe there is a low ceiling. I think you can certainly, probably should certainly win a bad division against a manageable schedule, but I don't think this team is going to be good enough to do anything in the playoffs, which ultimately is what I would like to see them do. So you were just sort of wallowing in this sort of mediocre phase where you're never going to be able to break through. That was my condition. But I could not disagree more with this metric. Now, usually if I'm going to throw something like that out, I'm going to want to see, okay, what's a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year average of this metric? What has it shown us? If you want a college football example, one of the things I really like is the blue chip ratio. If you're not familiar, the blue chip ratio was created years ago by a guy named Bud Elliott, and it basically says you have to have more than 50% of your roster made up of 4- and 5-star players. If at least 50% of your roster weren't 4- and 5-star players, you cannot win a national championship. And he's got decades worth of data during this era of the rankings to say that's the metric. Like the team, every team that's won the national championship since they've put out the blue chip ratio has had more than 50% of their roster be 5 and 4 stars. So if that's not your roster, you literally have no shot of winning the national championship. So you can look at that and say, here's the dozen and a half teams that even have a shot of winning a national championship, and it holds true every year. We don't have that basis with this metric, but it was interesting nonetheless because while I was not for the Carr signing, I disagree very much with this metric. Here's why. If I asked you, are the Saints better in 2023 with Andy Dalton than they were, in 2023 with Derek Carr than they were in 2022 with Andy Dalton? Could we agree like there's a consensus? Actually, Moose and Paul, open your mics. So we'll do this just to make sure that, I mean, y'all are Saints fans, y'all are with me on this as well. Like y'all watch. So Dalton 2022, Carr 2023. Are they better this year than last?
With yes. Carr, yes.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we agree. So you're better at quarterback. Okay. Running back. Last year, Kamara led the Saints in rushing. Do you know who the second leading rusher was on the Saints a year ago?
Was it Mark Ingram?
Yeah, my guess would be Ingram.
Taysom Hill.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill was your second leading rusher a year ago, followed by Mark Ingram, who had 233 yards. This is not, hang on. This is not even a question. Kamara, Jamal Williams, who led the NFL in rushing touchdowns, and you drafted Kendre Miller. Can we all agree you're better at running back this year than last?
Way better.
Okay, yes. Paul, yes, we're on board. Bo, I'm sorry, I need their attention right now. Receiver. After Chris Olave, you know who the leading receiver was on the team?
Rashid Shaheed.
I would have said, I don't know.
Juwan Johnson. Among receivers, Paul was right, but Rashid was fourth. It was Olave, Juwan Johnson, Kamara, Rashid Shaheed. Okay? Among just receivers, so maybe that was a bit of a trick question. Olave, Rashid, Traquan, Jarvis, who had 25 catches on the season, and then Michael Thomas, who had 16. Those were your top five. Olave, Shaheed, Edwards, James Washington, who they just signed. Michael Thomas, question mark, I get it. You draft A.T. Perry. Then you got all the other guys that we're waiting to see how they do. Can we agree they're better at receiver this year than they were a year ago? The injury-plagued team that relied more heavily on a pass-catching tight end and a running back than their receivers?
Absolutely.
Better?
I'll say yes.
Okay. What's the hesitation?
I just, maybe like a sophomore slump from Shaheed or something like that. Michael Thomas, you mentioned the question mark. What is James Washington? A.T. Perry is going to be a rookie. I think there's a few.
Would you take James Washington over Traquan as a pass catcher?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's kind of where you look. You got to go head-to-head. Even if you want to call it close to a push, I'm still saying you're better with on paper. Look, at this point last year, we could have talked about Michael Thomas, come back healthy, Jarvis. I mean, last year at this point, it sounded great. So, but now we know how it looked, and it was bad. You look better on paper right now than you ended last year.
For sure.
That's fair?
I agree with 100%. Yes, for sure.
Offensive line really is a push, except you get Trevor Penning healthy, knock on for Micah.
Yeah.
Better on the line?
I would say so, yes. With Penning, yes.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Tight end. Adam Troutman, Juwan Johnson, or Foster Moreau, Juwan Johnson?
Foster and Juwan.
This is objective fact. Like, they're better at every spot on the offense this year than they were a year ago. Now, if Jameis never gets hurt, if Thomas never gets hurt, if Jarvis never gets hurt, if Kamara never gets hurt, if your line stay, maybe we're having a different conversation about last year's offense, but all that stuff happened. So we know what they were a year ago based on all the numbers they put forward. They're better on paper going into this year than they were how they finished last year. And they finished 19th in the NFL in total offense last year. How in the world is this metric projecting this team to be 22nd against the second easiest schedule in the NFL? I mean, unless if, somewhere, somehow, some way, some of the teams on your schedule just have this monsters of the midway emergence this year. Maybe the Bears become awesome. Maybe the AFC South just becomes a total juggernaut this year. And it's just hell on earth to deal with those guys. I mean, you got DeMeco Ryans as the head coach of the Texans. Maybe they just crush you this year. Maybe. Not likely. So, I get it. Listen, I'm not bullish on these Saints. I'm not. I think they're going to win a bad division. I think it'll be the Saints and Carolina going head-to-head to win a bad division. And a lot of that largely depends on how Bryce Young plays as a rookie. But I think it's Saints, Carolina going head-to-head to win a bad division and probably going to get bounced in round 1, in the wild card round. So low ceiling. But I don't know how you can look at this Saints offense and say they're projected to be worse than the team a year ago that had Andy Dalton and Taysom Hill as your second leading rusher and Jawan Johnson-Kamara as your second and third leading receivers. Rashid Shaheed was your second best wide receiver on the season. Shaheed had 34 targets the whole year. And he was your second best wide receiver. I don't know how this is even a conversation. So, look, I get it. A lot of y'all disagree with me on feeling, projection, outlook, whatever approach the Saints are taking to build up this roster. But I think we could all agree they should be better offensively this year than they were last year. I don't even know that that's even a subjective opinion. I think that is objectively fact that they're on paper going into this year are better than they were a year ago. Okay, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Hey, always love telling you about Relief Windows. Windows, door siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. It's energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank and vinyl siding. My goodness, they do it all. They do it better than anyone. And I love telling you every single day here about Brandon Holly and the great gang over at Relief Windows. Remember, you can always go into their showroom. It's open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, right there on Airline Highway in Prairieville. And Relief Windows often has great discounts as well. We don't ever talk price. We don't advertise price here. But like if you buy windows and doors together, they'll give you a 10% discount. There's always things like that built in. So ask about it. Ask what kind of deals they have going seasonally. If you're looking for windows during these hot summer months to make your home more energy efficient, it's a great time to do it. And there's nobody better to call than Relief Windows. Windows, door siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, let me knock out a break. We'll go around the SEC. We'll have Tigers in the pros. Remember, on Fridays, we flip Tigers in the pros because we have Theriot coming up next hour. So, Theriot's in studio in 28 minutes from right now. We'll talk a ton of baseball with Theriot. Reaction from last night. Talk about looking ahead to this weekend and sort of into the postseason as LSU is now done with school and they're all focused on baseball. So, Theriot for a couple hours with us here starting in 28 minutes. We'll knock out a quick break, come back, go around the SEC. Stay here.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You can always go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Proud to announce the newest member of the G team did that last week. Of course, it's Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback for the Tigers. Latest member of the G team. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys have done just an amazing job building out the G team, as they call it, through their various NIL deals. A lot of Tiger players in a lot of different sports, but not just Tiger players. Colleges and universities all over the state of Louisiana that impact their community. That's what Gordon has done through his G team and offering NIL opportunities to great college athletes all over the state of Louisiana. It's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. I always encourage you to go to GordonGives.com. GordonGives.com. Gordon Gives is the charitable arm of the Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney family, so they're always finding ways to give back to our local community at GordonGives.com. Remember, if you've been in an accident, it's not your fault. You need representation. You know what to do. Go to GetGordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Percentage drives this one out of here. Boom. In the trees. Dylan Cruz makes it 5-3.
Well, we all felt pretty good at that moment. Dylan Cruz, top of the ninth. That felt like a slump buster right there for certain. Boomstick homer. And he would go on to strike out in extra innings. But, what's interesting is we have, considering just like feels like about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, Dylan Cruz was still hitting just a shade under 500. And so it's interesting that, we now are into the final weekend of the regular season. Hoover, regionals, hopefully super regionals, and then Omaha is still ahead. But we were, at this point in the season, I do think it's interesting that Dylan Cruz now very much has made, let's say, the chase for Rafe Rhymes' single season batting average record has made it interesting. Rafe, back in 2012, hit 431. Dylan, as of now, is at 438. So there's only 7 percentage points separating Dylan now and where Rafe finished back in 2012. And when you think Dylan's got 2 games this weekend, at least 2 games in Hoover, let's hope 3 games in the regional, 2 or 3 games in the Super Regional. That's 9 or 10 games remaining before the possibility of Omaha. There's still a lot of balls still to be played to see if Dylan Cruz can break Rafe Rhymes' record, or if Rafe's record of 431 is going to stand. Just a little footnote and asterisk to keep an eye on as we move throughout the remainder of the season, and, of course, with Game 2 with LSU and Georgia tonight. All right, we're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. We'll go around the SEC here in just a quick second. We'll get you caught up on scores and stats from last night around the conference. South Point Volkswagen is Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. If you're in the market for a vehicle or might be and you have never considered a Volkswagen, trust me, just put Volkswagen on your list and go shop South Point Volkswagen. You know, the average car buyer now visits 1.2 dealerships before making their purchase now because everybody shops online, of course. So go to southpointvw.com. You can search the entire inventory, new or certified pre-owned. It's all right there. If it's on the lot, it's online, and these aren't factory photos. If you go to the website at southpointvw.com, you'll see pictures of the actual vehicle that's right there on the lot at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Florida Gators.
Jay Jacobs has announced his retirement. You might remember Jay Jacobs as the former Auburn athletic director, but he has actually been serving as Florida's associate AD for external affairs for the last half decade. Jacobs spent 13 years as Auburn's AD. You might recall won the 2010 national championship. He's the one who hired Gene Chizik back in 2010 and then ultimately Gus Malzahn as well. Jacobs spent the last 5 years at Florida overseeing communications.
The Auburn Tigers.
Bruce Pearl told reporters on Wednesday that he was looking to sign another swingman, and today he's done that. Chad Baker-Mazzara has committed to Auburn. He's a 6'7", 190-pound wing, transferring from Northwest Florida State College. Opened his collegiate career at Duquesne before going to the JUCO ranks. Shot 47% from three last year. So a wing with some range joining Auburn's team. He's the third transfer to the Plains this offseason. I'll run through the results from last night's games around the conference. 2 games were postponed due to rain. Game 1 between Tennessee and South Carolina in Columbia was postponed. Also, Game 1 between Missouri and Auburn was postponed. You know, LSU beat Georgia in 12 innings. The other finals, Florida in Lexington continues to stay hot. They beat Kentucky 10-3. The Gators 19-9 in conference. Kentucky falls to 15-13. Alabama takes care of Ole Miss 4-1, plunging Ole Miss deeper into the cellar. They're 6-23 in the conference. Arkansas, incredibly. We talked about Vanderbilt having some of their pitching issues this weekend. Arkansas, despite their injuries, they go on the road to Nashville. They beat Vanderbilt in Game 1, 8-2. And it was Mississippi State fighting for their postseason lives, beating Texas A&M there at the Dude 10-8. So, because there were some postponements last night, already games underway today. Missouri and Auburn are in the 8th inning. Auburn at home leading Missouri 3-0. That's the top of the 8th with Missouri batting. Alabama and Ole Miss, they're in the top of the 5th inning in Game 2 there. Bama all over the Rebs right now at 8-1. The rest of the schedule is, as we stated a bit ago, Missouri-Auburn, the first game of that series, coming up at 6 o'clock. Okay, there you have it. I'm sorry, the first game of the series is being played right now. Game 2 will follow, projected at 6 o'clock. Okay, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy, Trey Beal, and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you get at Gulf Coast Office Products. Again, gcopnet.com. All right, let me knock out a break. We'll come back. We usually do Tigers and the Pros. I also want to talk about LSU extending an offer to the number 1 player in the country for 2025 and why that's significant. We'll get to that to wrap up hour number 1. Theriot in 17 minutes. Stick around.
AFR.
Weekend is upon us. Maybe you're thinking about a little brunch, either Saturday or Sunday. Let me recommend 2 great options. Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel and the Gregory downtown at the Watermark. Both hotels have their restaurants open for brunch Saturday and Sunday. Listen, we all know the brunch spots that everybody seems to go to and how sometimes you wait for an hour, 2 hours to get a table. Leave that mess alone. Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel is a delight. It's casual, upscale dining, and brunch is available Saturday and Sunday. The Gregory in downtown Baton Rouge at the Watermark is absolutely exquisite. If you're worried about parking, don't. If you're going to the Gregory, complimentary valet parking right there at the Renaissance, which is Baton Rouge's premier hotel destination. Tallulah inside the Renaissance, the Gregory at the Watermark. 2 great brunch options this weekend.
Get 3.99% financing at Corval Toyota in Opelousas on select 2023 models. We also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. The cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this wall.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look.
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Muse is going to get to Tigers and the Pros here in a bit. Theriot right after the top of the hour. LSU has extended an offer to Elijah Griffin. If you don't know the name, you'll get to know it over over the next several years. Elijah Griffin is the number one player in the country for the 2025 class. He's out of the state of Georgia, and he currently has offers from Georgia, South Carolina, Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee, LSU, basically everybody. But it's thought right now to be a Georgia-South Carolina battle. Again, the 247 rankings have him as the number one overall player in the country. In the composite, the number one defensive lineman, of course, number one player in the state of Georgia. But again, it's a Georgia-South Carolina battle right now. The reason this is interesting for LSU, of course, is the guy that was recruiting Elijah Griffin at South Carolina, who's got them firmly in the mix to land his commitment, is Jimmy Lindsey. Well, Jimmy Lindsey is now the LSU defensive line coach. I want to remind you, Pete Jenkins was with us here a week ago and talked about working with LSU and when Jamar Cain left and about how Jimmy Lindsey came on board. Give a listen.
And so the defensive line coach, Jamar, he and Gerald were there. And so I spent 5 days, 10 hours a day, working my tail off to teach him, Jamar.
Mm-hmm.
And about 3 weeks after, it might have been 2-3 weeks, he left and went to Denver.
Right.
So maybe I ran him off. I don't know what happened. But anyways, I really worked hard because Matt House is a damn good football coach now. Let me tell you, I've been around Matt at Kansas City, Kentucky, St. Louis Rams, and now LSU. I know Matt for a long time. Matt is smart, and he is a good football coach, okay? But it didn't look like what he wanted it last year up front. And Jamar was of another school of thought, okay? And so Matt wanted him in the off season to give an idea about how we do things and whatever. So I did work awful hard with him. I found him to be a nice guy. Gerald Chapman, who was his assistant, was in there with us. Actually, Gerald was a little bit ahead of Jamar because Gerald had come to visit me in Miami in January last year and everything. So, but it was I worked hard on it, and he up and leaves and everything. But the good news for me, they hired a boy from the University of South Carolina who I've been working with for about 4 years. And I like him, and I think he and Matt had worked somewhere in the past together.
Mm-hmm.
And so Matt's very comfortable with him. And he does the stuff that all of us do and everything. So Matt's going to be a lot happier and a lot better off. And the linemen are going to get preparation for not only LSU, but for the next step.
So I found that pretty fascinating. So Pete Jenkins was with us and basically said they're better off with Jimmy Lindsey on the defensive line. And then sort of an ancillary benefit here is Jimmy Lindsey was already recruiting Elijah Griffin for the class of 2025 and immediately has LSU in the mix there. I want to remind you this. Louisiana, I had to look this up today. Louisiana does not, for the class of 2025, Louisiana does not have a defensive lineman in the on-3 top 300. They also do not have a defensive lineman from Louisiana among the top 20 players in the state for 2025. So now that could change. Obviously, you got two recruiting cycles to go, and players will develop and grow and all that sort of stuff. But as of right now, you are very lean in the state in 2025, and your hire of Jimmy Lindsey immediately gets you a hat on the table for the best player in the country for 2025. Just something worth keeping an eye on as we move toward that recruiting cycle. Okay, Muso. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
All right, let's start with some minor league baseball, shall we? The Bowie Bay Sox.
Bowie.
I thought we said it was Bowie.
You keep saying that every time, and I keep correcting you. It's Bowie.
We're going to get this one day. Or Zach Watson can just...
No, we. You.
Or Zach Watson can just keep doing what he's doing and get called up and leave the Bay Sox behind.
Stick with the Bay Sox. I like what you did.
He reached base 3 times last night, once via walk, the other 2 via double. So 2 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored for Watson as well. Bay Sox lost, though, to the Altoona Curve. Landon Marceau got the start for the Rocket City Trash Pandas yesterday. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, only one of them earned. Walked 2, struck out 6. Got a tough luck loss in the ballgame. That is not a losing line from a pitcher, but Marceau falls to 2-4 on the season. Threw the ball pretty well. Kramer Robertson reached base a couple times for the Memphis Redbirds yesterday. Needed it too. Been a tough year for our guy Kramer. 1 via walk, 1 via single. Did score both times. 1 for 4 on the day. Kramer hitting 184 so far on the season. PGA Championship. It's been tough on a lot of guys in the field. It was especially tough for Sam Burns. Sam Burns shot 10 over par today, Matt.
Oh.
Shot 14 over for the tournament.
Oh.
He will not be around for the weekend.
Woo.
Ben Taylor, on the other hand, will be around for the weekend. Shot 2 over par today, is 4 over for the tournament. Gives you an idea of how hard it's playing at Oak Hill, that 5 over is your current cut line. So Ben Taylor, be around for the weekend. Sam Burns will not. That is Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. Gentlemen, thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels. Graduation season could mean, as you're taking the next step in your life, as you're graduating college, maybe you're looking to pop the question. Go to Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. Gentlemen, you will always thrill her with a gift in the red box, where you will get unmatched customer service, the Lee Michaels experience, as they call it, no matter your budget. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, it's After Further Review presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Quick break, top of the hour, get you caught up on national headlines from SportsCenter. Theriot's going to be in studio with us. Ryan's Letter Kick Rocks, all that good stuff. And we will also talk with Theriot about what happened last night with LSU and Georgia Game 1, and we'll start to look ahead to Game 2 as we are an hour and 5 minutes away from first pitch. The lineup is posted for LSU and Georgia, and there are some very notable changes, including Dylan Cruz batting leadoff. We'll get to that when we come back, right after SportsCenter.
AFR.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. Years after the WBRZ investigative unit exposed a scandal at the Council on Aging, where the CEO named herself in a client's will, there's more allegations of funny business. The investigative unit learning she was authorized recently to be the only one who signs checks for the agency, dropping a requirement for 2 signatures. Employees saying she needs more oversight, not less. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. Almost 60 years after his retirement, he's still the only non-quarterback to win the NFL MVP 3 times. Jim Brown, Pro Football Hall of Famer, social activist, and actor, has died in Los Angeles. Brown still holds many Cleveland Browns career rushing records. He was 87. The Miami Heat bring a 1-0 lead into Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight against the Celtics. Miami coach Eric Spoelstra knows that Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo fill their teammates with confidence.
Jimmy's had some monster games. Bam has had some incredible games on this playoff run, but unless we've had these other guys chipping in, that's not enough. And those guys are smart enough to fully understand that, and they're breathing life into those guys. I love that.
Eric Spoelstra will have Game 2 here on ESPN Radio starting at 8 Eastern. It's cut-down day at the PGA Championship right now on ESPN and ESPN+. Corey Connors leads at 6 under.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You pitch a better reload.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
How's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, but good. I'm full of good ideas.
On ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Here comes Theriot, the throw, not in time. Scudero delivers and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
The wave pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd, provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Theriot around third. He heads for home. Here's the throw. He is safe. Tigers win. Tigers win.
He on third and it's about to finish, please. Let's go.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusuf. Hey. And we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Yeah, bro. How you feeling about the Tigers? How you feel about the win last night?
Big win last night. Big gutsy win last night. They needed that one. Gut check last night. More of the same with the bullpen. My phone's blowing up with texts and this and that, blah blah blah, and then they pulled it out. So I thought last night was big, man. That was a big victory for the boys.
For everybody that listen, and the ninth inning sucked. We all know it did. Can we also point out the fact that if Jordan Thompson catches a routine pop-up in the eighth inning, well, let me not call it routine. There was wind. But a pop-up in the eighth inning on the infield, it never comes to that.
Yep.
So I thought Thatcher Hurd did an awesome job overcoming a lot of adversity, man. Adversity in the eighth, giving up the homers in the ninth. LSU gave up a leadoff single in the 10th. Got a grab ball double play, then a strikeout. In the 11th, LSU had the bases loaded with one out. Cruz, White coming up. They don't score. Georgia's going nuts. It's Bussard, Hurd, boom, 3 up, 3 down.
Mm-hmm.
And then when LSU got the lead, 3 up, 3 down in the 12th. So I thought it was a great performance by Thatcher Hurd, man. Very, very encouraging. And what it shows now is that in the last month, the outlier is what happened to him in Game 2 against Mississippi State last weekend because he's been good for a month now, save that outing last Saturday where they blew a save.
No, he has. He's been good.
All right, we are the lineup has been posted for tonight's ball game. I want to get your thoughts on it, but we'll get to that in a bit. I always like to ask you just kind of how you've been doing.
How the week's been?
Oh, well,
how's your week? How you been doing?
I saw you and I had lunch today,
which I enjoyed. We need to do that more often. You've been so busy with all the stuff on your plate.
You've been busy with a lot of stuff on your plate,
and I've been busy as well. But I enjoyed our time today.
Good to see Macy at lunch today too.
Yeah,
good
to see Macy.
Got to see Tilly
and Briggs. Big Briggs.
Just
bringing it.
I mean, it was good to see.
It's a good lunch. Tilly's diet is just better than ever.
Fried catfish with etouffee all over it.
It's twice baked potato.
Crushing it.
Garlic bread and a water. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
go,
come on. What's the water?
It's like, give me a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The diet. That's what's gonna. That's the difference. Yeah. Clean it up.
So it's a good lunch.
Or don't. Just be you.
Yeah, be you.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. No, week's good. There's a lot of good stuff going on. In the work, and this also school's winding down, and
it is,
as you know.
I do.
Coming to the end of the school year, and it's exciting. Kids are getting ready for summer, and planning what they're going to do. And I love the first 3 or 4 weeks of summer. I love.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
I think the kids always need a break. I think my kids do at least. They need a break. They need to rest and relax, and it gives me a break too. But I wrote a letter because to social media and some posters because there's a trend that's happening, and it's been happening for years, and it's gotten to the point now, Matt, where I'm fed up. I've had enough. All right.
Okay.
So I'm officially off of social media for the rest of the month.
Oh.
And maybe a week or two into June. That starts today. That started today. So I'm off. I'm done.
So yeah, I don't really like that very much.
Well,
as your HUD co-partner, I do not like that.
I'm done. I can't take it anymore. I literally saw a post yesterday by a group of moms at the beach celebrating their daughter's 8th grade graduation.
Hey, who are you to tell anybody what they need to celebrate in life?
The moms went to the beach to celebrate their daughter's graduating the 8th grade.
It was just an excuse to go to the beach, and you know what, ladies?
Now think about that for a minute.
Live it up, ladies. Don't let him rain on your parade.
They took a trip on their children's behalf, took a beach pic and posted it, and actually thought that was okay.
Don't you hide your joy under a bushel. Let it shine.
Did you think for 1 minute that Mary Margaret wouldn't graduate the 8th grade? Like, are we serious?
Mary Margaret.
Like, are you surprised that she got the diploma? You're so surprised that you had to take a relaxing vacation over there on 30A? Like, is that... She did it. Good job. Even better, Matt, was the post with the pre-K kid in a cap and gown walking across the stage. I freaking saw that. Okay? The kid's shaking hands with the lunch lady as if they actually did something. The stupid kid knows his colors and what sound a dog makes, and y'all lunatics think that he's actually accomplishing something. So much that you had to video him walking across the stage. He's 3 years old in pre-K with a cap and gown.
But they look so cute. They're so cute when they're that little in the cap and gown.
He's going to kindergarten next year. Guess what, Matt?
What?
Everybody goes to kindergarten next year. Like, nobody did anything.
Why do you not want anybody to have any joy in life?
What color's that? Blue. All right, you get a diploma. 20 years ago.
Turn my Bud Light bottle right.
20 years ago, high school graduation was kind of special, okay? And I'm going to tell you why it was special 20 years ago. Because people would actually fail. That was the thing.
That's true.
There was a dude in my graduating class at Broadmoor. I'm not joking. He was also a dealer at the Bella Baton Rouge Casino. He's 22 years old. Okay? He graduated with me at Broadmoor. Like, people failed back in the day. Nobody fails anymore.
Shout out, Bucks.
That doesn't happen.
Nobody failed a Catholic. If you weren't going to pass, you weren't in school there.
When's the last time you heard of somebody failing? Honestly.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of...
It doesn't happen.
I'm in the phase of life where my friends' kids aren't in high school. Our kids are young.
So the only way you don't graduate is if you drop out of school. That doesn't happen either. And when it does, the kids go get a GED, and sometimes that's even better, like to have.
Yeah, for sure.
And these post-graduation trips have gotten out of hand.
Now that's
okay.
True. Yeah.
When I walked across the stage, okay, at Bethany and Baker, because that's where we had our graduation, I jumped in my buddy's red Prelude We headed straight to Thunderbird Beach and we turned up. Okay?
I went to a Key Club convention in Orlando.
All the rich kids went tiki tubing, and it was like that's where all the rich kids go.
The rich kids.
Yeah, they're going tiki tubing up I-55. Bro, you got groups of kids going backpacking in Europe for a week. You got another group going to Turks and Caicos. Oh, we're going to the Dominican for a week and a half.
Hey, bro, you're the one who chose to send your kids to Dunham.
These are trips of a lifetime.
You're the one. Look.
Because you graduated high school.
You could have sent your kids to Broadmoor. You could have sent your kids to Liberty Magnet. You're the one who sent your kids to Dunham. What do you think? Of course they're going to be around rich kids who go to have elaborate trips. Good for them.
Next time.
Live your life.
Next time you snap that picture of little Preston walking across the stage at Broadmoor Methodist preschool graduation, I want you to think twice about putting it out there for the world to see. Okay? Oh, and the class rings. The dumbest thing in the world is class rings. The absolute world's dumbest thing. $400 for a ring that will never be worn is the stupidest thing in the world.
I wore my class ring the whole senior year.
No, you did not.
Yeah, I did.
I've got championship rings, world championship rings that I don't wear. Okay,
my whole senior year. We got at
you
Catholic,
wore your class ring.
We had a ring ceremony at the end of junior year, and you wear your senior
ring. You were the only
ring.
guy in your class that wore your ring.
That's not true.
Nobody else wore
Everybody
your ring.
wore their senior ring for the whole senior year.
No,
maybe that was just a Catholic high thing.
I think it was because there's one high school in town where the kids don't even get. They don't even do the class ring. They go to go see my boy at Anton's, Richard. They get a real piece of jewelry, a nice ring, just because they made it to their senior year. It's absolutely crazy.
You should go to Lee Michaels.
Jostens has been screwing us for 40 years.
Good
okay,
for you, Jostens.
$400 on this stupid class ring that nobody wears. It's
I wore mine my entire senior year.
Off of social media till June. See you guys later, Ryan.
I mean, what's wrong with you today? Why are you trying to steal people's joy?
Graduation. Come on, like they weren't gonna graduate. Get out of here.
Are you going to do graduation announcements next week?
Don't send me a graduation announcement.
It's like, don't send him a Christmas card.
Oh, God.
Why did you turn into Scrooge?
It's unbelievable. Pre-K, come on. 8th grade graduation. Could you see Sherwood Middle holding an 8th grade graduation? First off, nobody'd show up.
I had an 8th grade graduation at MBS. Shout out, Pelicans.
So stupid.
All right, it's after further review. We'll be back.
AFR.
Hey, you know where we went last Saturday?
You went to Clegs.
We did go to Clegs.
Do you know where we went? The last 4 days? Shout out to Jonna for blowing up the credit card.
Clegs?
Clegs.
Love it so much. Now, Erica she had one of them carts. Boy, it was over. It was Mother's Day, so she got to buy what she wanted. The cart was overflowing. Flowers. We did get some of the mosquito eradicators as well. I keep telling you, by the way, if you have mosquitoes, you don't have to pay some big mosquito abatement company to come. So just go to Clegs, get a mosquito eradicator. I mean, it's $24.99. It's 2 tubes. You take the top off. It's got granules in it. You fill it with water to the fill line, shake it up, put it on your property line. You're done. I'm an idiot and I can do this. I don't even change light bulbs and I can do this. Just go for. And if it doesn't work for you, you're out $25, but it'll work 90 days at a time. Buy local, shop local. Go see our friends at Clegs Nursery.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home, live Baton Rouge. Ah, no matter what you put me on through, gotta send my love down.
a taco more than just a taco when it's Government Taco? Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring, wherever you get your podcast.
Giddy up, 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 lock, 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 giddy up, 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 giddy up.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, we do kick rocks in just a second. By the way, the lineup is posted. Game 2, LSU and Georgia. LSU wins last night in 12 innings. Let's run through this real quick, and I want to get your opinion on how LSU is going to line up, because there are some pretty significant changes here. So Dylan Cruz has been he's been fighting it a little bit, and they're going to move him up to the leadoff spot tonight. And Tommy White is going to move from cleanup to the 2-hole to keep the Cruz-White back-to-back tandem in order. Trey Morgan will bat third, and then Hayden Travinski will bat cleanup. Cade Beloso will stay in the 5-hole. Gavin Dugas will move from the leadoff spot to the 6-hole. And then your bottom third is Joe Bear, Thompson, Pearson, who's going to get the start in right field. Joe Bear is going to DH. So they go Cruz, White, Morgan, Travinski, Beloso, Dugas, Joe Bear, Thompson, Pearson, and Beloso plays first base. Thought on moving Cruz up to the leadoff spot?
I think one or two is a good spot. You know, for him, two I think is the most fastballs. The one that has benefited this year the most has been Tommy White. You know, hitting behind Dylan Cruz, but put him in the leadoff spot makes a lot of sense to me. You're giving him maybe an extra at bat for the game. Takes a little pressure off of him from runners in scoring position standpoint. You know, I'm not going to say it allows him to relax a little bit, because it doesn't, but more of a situational spot. I think he can game plan a little bit, so I do like that. Travinski has earned this opportunity to hit in the middle of the lineup behind some dudes that are going to be on base, and so I'm hopeful that he can continue to be hot, you know, and swing the bat well. And then, you know, Pearson, look, man, I hope we haven't seen the best version of him, but last year, you know, this is kind of when he started to get hot and swing the bat really well. He's been very streaky this year. You saw the homer last night. But if you can get a left-handed bat, you know, you get Pearson down there, you know, in the middle third of the lineup, the end of the lineup, swing the bat well, I think that's a plus.
All right. And look, Joe Bear's just been really good in right, playing right field and hitting from the left side. So, you know, a lot of us thought that Kling was actually probably going to win that job. Kling really struggled against conference pitching, and Joe Bear has consistently hit all year. So they haven't had a better option. But the fact that Pearson in May hit his first homer tells you the depth this team has. It's pretty incredible. All right, we do kick rocks in a second, but the Riot Radio Hour is now presented by Alpha Customs.
Alpha Customs. Yeah. Which is right up my alley.
If this isn't the most on-brand sponsor you have ever had.
It's true.
Because you've got freaking Bigfoot in the parking lot out there. I think that monster that you have, which is like an F-850, takes up 6 parking spots.
It's a Chevy.
And whatever it is. I don't care.
Jerry Lane.
Shout out. I don't care. Anyway, the giant truck you have out there, that's exactly what you need.
I mean,
bigger tires, bigger lift,
speakers.
What's the thing on the front? The big grill.
Big grill.
A big. What do you call that?
I don't have one, but yeah, the big grill.
You gonna get one of them?
I mean, why not? If you want to, you can go get it from Alpha.
The big lights on the top.
KC lights.
Yeah.
Speakers, amps.
Their effort when Michelle Galvez, shout out, texted and was like, hey, we got an interested sponsor for Theriot. I was like, oh my God, that is the most on-brand sponsor ever for Theriot.
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean,
Alpha Customs.
It is. I was the guy that jacked up the Escalade, like that's me. And who does that? Well, I did it.
Wait, tell me this first car, like when you got your signing
bonus.
bonus.
Yeah, so I got drafted, went to see Eric at Jerry Lane, bought a Chevy Tahoe like the next day, went straight to the rim shop, put some rims on it. Like, that's what you do. You go to Broadmoor, you got to put some rims on it, put some subs in the back. I keep it real. Listening to 8-Ball MJG on Florida Boulevard. That's what we do. No, man, shout out to Alpha Customs. Super fired up. Went and checked the guys out. You want to stand out on the road, go to Alpha Customs, the very best in off-road aftermarket wheel, tire, suspension, and accessory modifications, which is right up my alley. Okay, I got a Suburban on order. I've got a Suburban on order. I'm fired up about this. Diesel, by the way.
I love it.
I'm not even taking it home. It's going straight to Alpha, lift, wheels, tires. I'm not even bringing it home first.
I believe you.
That's where, look, locations in Prairieville, which is right there on Airline Highway. You guys have seen it. Or in Lafayette, largest on-hand inventory on wheels and tires. Specialize in custom work, and they'll never disappoint. Give Alpha a call or visit them at alphacustoms.net. That's alphacustoms.net. Pimp your ride, baby.
And if you don't pimp your ride, you can kick rocks.
It's time to kick rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick rocks.
Presented by Ruckus. Kick rocks with shoes from Ruckus. Jones Creek Road in Baton Rouge. Or go to ruckus103.com.
Tom Brady can kick rocks. That's a standing kick rocks, but this one's
a perpetual kick rock.
Kick rocks.
Did you prepare?
Yeah. Okay, you can kick rocks for being a middle midget.
Kick rocks.
Costing your team 4 points.
They can kick a whole bag of rocks for that.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Dodgers fan gets knocked unconscious during a brawl outside the stadium.
Oh.
When I was
water is wet and the sky is blue.
It just keeps happening, okay? So something needs to happen at Chavez Ravine because there are more of these headlines after Dodgers games, during Dodgers games, before Dodgers games. It is a brawl, like head on your shoulders. Somebody needs to do something about security, or the people going to the games need to clean it up a little bit. But for the 500th time there was an assault or a fight at Dodger Stadium. Chavez Ravine, kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
John Morant is in the news again with another picture of him on social media flashing a gun.
What an idiot.
Kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
And last, the WNBA can kick rocks. So
kick rocks.
If you don't have enough roster spots or teams, or it's just not going to work, like we don't need to have a draft, okay? I think it's really stupid to do that, and then you just cut the people right afterward. Not going to say I'm a WNBA fan, but none of this really makes much sense to me. So I think you guys need to kind of figure that out, WNBA. I don't even know who's in charge of that. Who's the commissioner there?
I don't know.
So anyway, that's it.
I have a hug.
I got a hug too. Yeah, go ahead.
What's your hug?
Jim Brown. I want to give him a hug.
Okay.
Jim Brown passed away.
Yeah.
Social activist Jim Brown could run the rock. I mean, get out of Jim Brown's way when he's got the rock. Yeah, passed away today. Shout out Jim Brown, his life, his legacy, his family. Prayers. Yep.
I got a hug. Tulane University today announced its Athletics Hall of Fame class of 2023. And in this class are Andrew Friedman, Orleans Darkwa, Ryan Griffin, Carlin Hartman, Brittany Hurst, Billy Mole, and the former radio voice of the Wave and current voice of the Pels, Todd Graffanini. Give me Graf! Give me Graf! Hurry up, Musso, just give me Graf! Give me Graf! I want it. Congrats to Todd Graffanini. I don't give a damn about anything to do with Tulane whatsoever. I grew up in New Orleans, and my family hated Tulane. Around the bowl, down the hole, roll, wave, roll. I get it. Nobody cares about that anymore because Tulane's been irrelevant largely ever since they left the SEC. Dumbest decision ever. But I love Todd Graffanini.
He's a guy.
Kraft's a guy. I love the fact that he comes on the show. I love the fact that he's New Orleans to the core. I love the fact that he loves Tulane, even though Tulane ain't nothing much to love about him, but he does. And I couldn't be more fired up for my guy, Todd Graffanini, radio voice of the Pels, now Tulane Hall of Fame
HOF.
class of 2023. Give me Graf!
Taken away by Nance. Just ripped it away from him to Jose. To Najee. Back to Jose. Left angle three. Yeah, you're right. Timeout, Nate McMillan.
Yeah, you're right.
How about it? Congrats, Graf. That's awesome. I'm fired up, man. And, of course, you know why else I'm fired up? Because Kick Rocks is brought to you by Ruckus.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even going to lie to you. I said, got these at Ruckus, by the way. How you like them G-Nikes?
No, those are really good. Is
Navy and white with the gum soles.
Is that part of
Put
the
it right
post
here, Paulie.
the other day or no?
Put it right here, Paulie. Navy and white with the gum soles. How you like them?
Mm-hmm.
You like those a lot, don't you?
I'm a fan of the gum.
Those are awesome. Those are so good right there. I've had these for a while. Got them at Ruckus. You can buy these at Ruckus, actually. But, no, these are not what I got the other day. I went last Saturday, and Drew was excited to go.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you what, and I say this often when we talk about Ruckus, I love the people over there.
Mm-hmm.
I walked in, every single employee at Ruckus. And if you run a business, you could learn something from Ronnie Paul and the way that they run their business at Ruckus, because literally every employee at Ruckus on Saturday came up to me and told me hello. Everyone. Thank you for coming in. A couple of guys shook my hand, whatever. There's something to be said for actually being appreciative of people coming to patronize your business.
And they didn't know that you were going to be talking about him on the radio. They had no idea.
No.
So I had a similar deal. Guy comes up to me, talks to me like we were best friends. He had no idea that we talk about,
That's every time I walk in a Ruckus.
Yep.
Awesome place. I love to endorse Ruckus. Go get shoes at Ruckus, but it's not just shoes. Of course, they got great footwear.
Sick jeans.
They got jeans. Look, skate apparel. You want Ruckus gear, Ruckus apparel.
T-shirts.
Go to ruckus103.com, R-U-K-U-S, ruckus103.com. They're right there on Jones Creek, right next to Blue Store in Baton Rouge. Blue Store, right?
Yeah.
Blue Store. Yep. Ruckus103.com, Ruckus, R-U-K-U-S 103.com. Buy your shoes at Ruckus, whatever you need. If it's Nikes, New Balance, Adidas, Reeboks. I got the old Griffies, too. I love those.
Big drop coming out, next month that I'm excited about. I don't know if we can talk about it yet, but it's coming.
No, I mean, Nike's put it out there.
Okay.
Yeah, the purple and white SBs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're fire. I will be in line for those for sure. Anyway, Ruckus103.com. Shout out to Ruckus. I love talking about them because they're awesome. I'm into sneakers and everything like that. But the fact that, I've told you this too. Whenever Erica gave me my first pair of sneakers of Air Force Ones for Christmas. The next week I was off of work. I literally went to every sneaker shop in town.
Yep. I remember that.
All of them.
You were like, all right, what else you got? Where else should I go?
All of them. And the only place I walked into where everybody was friendly, non-judgmental, helpful, was Ruckus. Before we ever talked about it, or I even knew you knew the owners, and they'll always have my business. Even if they stop sponsoring this segment, Ruckus will always have my business. Awesome place. Ruckus103.com. Okay, it's after further review. We're glad you're aboard with us here. We'll get to Ask Ryan in about 15 minutes from right now. So get your questions in for Theriot. When we come back, I want to dive a little deeper into the LSU-Georgia game last night and then the series tonight. I certainly want to talk about Ty Floyd and now with Hurd burned for the weekend, what they do moving forward. So we'll talk about that. Little LSU-Georgia preview with Theriot when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, if you need a place to watch tonight, get by Pluckers. Eat some wings. Holy macaroni. Homemade blue cheese potato chips.
The Guapo dip.
The El Guapo dip.
I want Gold Rush. I want some Gold Rush. I like the, what is it, the ranch? The
Spicy Ranch.
Spicy Ranch is so good.
Spicy Ranch is a dry rub. Love it.
Yes.
With ranch dressing, of course, not blue cheese.
Yeah.
Although Hunt Palmer insists that blue cheese is superior, which is stupid because the majority of the people don't eat blue cheese. Whatever. What?
I didn't even know that. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Pluckers, Nicholson, just south of campus, Bluebonnet right in front of the mall, Louisiana. Need a place to watch tonight, LSU and Georgia, Game 2. You want to watch Miami-Boston, Game 2, Eastern Conference Finals night? You could do it over at Pluckers. Remember, Major League Baseball, every single game all season long, one place. Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
$0 over MSRP at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. That's right. Don't pay over MSRP. There's no markups, no games. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Here we go, y'all. We about to hit this dance floor right quick. I want you to kick out your legs, work your hips, and move your feet. Come on. Yeah. Ow. Come on, y'all. We about to get this bust out going on New Orleans style. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. 4 times to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
It's more like it.
All right, game 2, LSU and Georgia coming up. First pitch 26 minutes from right now. We went through the starting lineup there just a little bit ago in the last segment. So, all right, sorry. Sorry.
It's all right.
Wait, my phone's playing. Hold on. God dog it.
It won't stop now. I love that.
Sorry. My apologies. Like, you don't have better things to do than listen to me fumble around with my phone. All right, so LSU and Georgia game 2 tonight. Ty Floyd, what do you think has been working so well for him? Because he seems to certainly have turned a corner here in the last 6 weeks.
You know, it's strike one. You know, getting ahead of batters, strike one, putting the offense on defense, you know, and the relationship, the hitter-pitcher relationship, it's always advantage. It's most of the time advantage pitcher, right? The hitter doesn't know what he's throwing, you know, and so there's that uncertainty there, you know, and then you got point whatever seconds to determine whether you want to swing or not. So the pitcher has an advantage unless the pitcher throws ball 1, right? And then if the pitcher throws ball 2, then the process of elimination starts. There's so much video, and these hitters, they know what's coming if a pitcher gets in a negative count, you know. And so when Ty Floyd gets ahead with strike 1, you know, that puts the hitter back on his heels, and that's what you're seeing. You can give 6 innings of 0-run baseball because you're getting ahead of batters. You're keeping them on the defense. Now, flip side of that, when he has struggled, you're it's ball 1, ball 2. Now the hitter is in swing mode and has a good idea of what's coming. They leave something out in the middle of the plate, and then it gets whacked. So I think just staying ahead of batters because he's got really, really good stuff. But I don't care how good your stuff is. If the hitter knows what pitch is coming or has a good idea of what pitch is coming, they're going to have success.
So what would you like to see them do tonight after Floyd? With the caveat that obviously it depends what's happening in the game. If LSU's up 8-0 and Floyd gives you 7, well, whatever. Let's say it's a competitive game and maybe it's tied or LSU's a short lead and get you 5 or 6 innings. What do you think?
So I missed 9-10 and I caught 11. So who pitched 9-10? Was it all Hurd?
So Riley Cooper pitched to 1 batter in the 8th. Walked him. They went to Hurd. Hurd pitched the rest of the way. 5 innings.
Okay.
Gave you 71 pitches. So Hurd's burned for the weekend.
Hurd's burned for the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to throw little. I get it. Unless, you know, if you can take the same approach, the one guy I think you could probably extend would be Guidry.
Okay.
That wouldn't be a bad, you know, if you play the same role and you go, you know, match up lefty in the middle of the game right there to get a few outs, and then you ride Guidry for the rest of the game, I wouldn't hate that. But it's going to be unconventional in a sense to where he would finish the game similar to what Hurd did. You don't have a closer coming out of the bullpen. But I do like, you know, giving one guy the ball, 2 guys the ball, rather than 4 guys the ball, because it gives you less chance of that thing messing up. And I'm assuming Coleman's going to pitch.
Coleman will start game 3.
Game 3. So he takes him out of the bullpen rotation. And then I guess a better question would be, what's Coleman's pitch count look like?
Yeah.
You know, is it still what I think you said, 50?
50.
If it's still at 50, if it's not, you know, then you can maybe get 5 or 6 innings out of Coleman. Now you're in a much better spot, you know, going into Sunday. But yeah, you try to win the day however you can, and then you piece it together. You piece it together tomorrow in the bullpen. I would like to see Guidry, you know, get that extended long relief look similar to what Hurd did.
Well, hopefully they don't need an extended long relief look. I mean, Hurd gave you 5 innings almost out of necessity because you played 12. You know, you'd love to see Ty Floyd give you 6 or 7 tonight, and you can get home with Herring, Guidry, Ackenhausen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the other thing I'll tell you that I thought was interesting is in the past few weeks, what we've seen Jay do. Skeens pitched a complete game last Friday because they run ruled him, but on Saturday they went Ackenhausen and Hurd. Same as what they did against Florida or against Auburn game 2, and then to finish out game 1 behind Skeens against Auburn was Ackenhausen Hurd.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last night the first guy out of the bullpen wasn't Ackenhausen; it was Riley Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that, should I read more into that? I mean, clearly they situationally wanted lefty, but Ackenhausen's a lefty too.
I mean, if you just talk about which one's been more reliable, it's got to be Cooper, and who's got the better stuff? It's the other guy.
Ackenhausen's got a better ERA.
Yeah, he's got good, but he has blown up a time or two. I mean, Cooper's got more experience. He's the veteran guy.
Saw Cooper give up the bomb.
When I see Cooper pitch
week.
from a stuff standpoint, it doesn't blow me away. Okay. But yeah, when you talk about matchups and can the guy go out there and throw strikes and not going to walk anybody, and that's really the main thing that's been biting this pitching staff in the butt is the walks.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't give free passes. If the team beats you by hitting the ball in the gaps and over the fence, then the team beats you. That's part of it. But the free pass stuff, I think, is what just drives those. I know is what drives the coaching staff, crazy. Can't let them do it for free.
Ackenhausen's ERA, 12 appearances. He's got a 2.65 ERA. Cooper's got 23 appearances. He's got double the amount of appearances, but his ERA is 5.93.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the big difference, man. It's like Cooper's walked 14. Ackenhausen has walked 8 in 17 innings pitched. That's tough.
Yeah. No, it's good. Maybe Ackenhausen's the Sunday guy. Maybe they're looking at him going, look, we're gonna need some help Sunday. I don't know. One of those guys that we just mentioned, whether it be Guidry, Ackenhausen, one of those guys is going to have to step up and really, really be good down the stretch.
The weird thing, though, about this bullpen, and obviously they've had blow-up moments. That's not even deniable. The tough part about it, though, when you look, is that we've seen these guys be good at times as well. Like, we've seen Griffin Herring be really good.
Mm-hmm.
We've also seen him in the first inning against Auburn when he couldn't throw the ball over the plate. Mm-hmm. We've seen Cooper be good. We've also seen him have a blow-up inning. We've seen Blake Money at times be able to get outs, and we've seen him just give up gopher balls. So it's odd because it's more of a question of, is it just a coin flip as to which version of these guys you're going to get in a given night, or is there a way to find some consistency with them?
I think today it's the coin flip. Like right now, as we talk, it's the coin flip. You gotta give me 2 or 3 outings of consistency. And the reason why I went directly to Guidry, because I know he has had some struggles recently, is because I feel like he's going to be competitive with his pitches every single pitch he throws. Like I kind of know what I'm going to get with him at this point, and just the uncertainty is, I think, the question mark. Look, I said little earlier, and you're kind of like, oh, I don't know. But
you want to talk about walks? He's the chief offender. From
a sheer stuff standpoint, you go watch these guys throw a bullpen, and you watch Christian Little pitch, and you go, oh my God, he's the guy. That's the coin, the coin flip you're talking about. And that's where they're trying to bridge that gap, I think.
You just don't have many more opportunities.
No.
Like, this is your final weekend.
Yeah.
Next week it's conference tournament, then it's regional time. I mean, you just don't have answers, which is, I think, why a lot of people are antsy. I have another question I'll get to in a second. I want to remind you about Traction Sports. TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. All right, summertime over at Traction. 2 things to remind you of. 1, Summer Baseball League. It's a great opportunity. The thing that's interesting is I know a lot of kiddos play in the Traction leagues, right, with the Canes, everything. In the summer, you don't have to play with Traction during the spring to play in the summer league. So a lot of kids from that play in other leagues come to Traction and play in the summer.
Oh yeah.
So 1 night of practice a week, 1 night a week is game night. So TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. If you want to register right now for Traction Summer Baseball, you can. Also, it's worth mentioning baseball camps are enrolling right now as well. They're registering for baseball camps. So, look, school's out. Got to send your kids somewhere during the summer. Well, Traction Summer Baseball camps are registering right now. So if you want to get your son, daughter in Traction Summer Baseball camps, you could do it. TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. Traction, where champions are made. All right, one more question is, what do you do with? What do you do? What do you make of Dylan Cruz's struggles? How do you get him back on track?
Well, what was he hitting? 5 something?
Look,
So
3
that's-
weeks ago he was hitting a hair under 500.
Yeah.
Now he's hitting 438.
Okay. Yeah. So the hair under 500 is not sustainable in the SEC. It's just not. A lot of good things have to happen. You got to remember during that stretch where he was hitting close to 500, and I was watching a lot of his at bats. There was a few games there where he didn't hit a ball at the infield and got 3 hits. You know what I mean? And it's just the way that the ball was bouncing. He would take a bad swing on a bad, tough pitch, and it would somehow trickle to the third baseman and he'd get a base hit. And so, I have seen some instances where he's kind of checking up on some pitches and not pulling the trigger, and I think it's kind of the sign of maybe him going, okay, I need to get more hits. But the truth is, there's a reason why nobody hits 500, or very few hit 400.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to do, and so what we saw early in the year, really through the first, half of the season, maybe a little bit longer, is, in my opinion, one of the greatest offensive performances in LSU history. If you look back at, the homers with Brandon Larson and guys like that, obviously that was impressive too. But the rate in which he was getting on base and getting base hits and scoring runs and also hitting with power is not sustainable. I wouldn't call it struggling. I would say coming back to life a little bit, coming back down to earth. You hope that he gets a little more aggressive. What I would like to see is him be more aggressive at the plate. What I would not like to see is the swing and miss that we saw last year and year before last. We did see a lot of swing and miss. Early on in the year, there was not a whole lot of swing and miss from him. Right now, he's taking strikes. So I would like to see him get a little bit more aggressive. I think the swing's fine. Nothing's changed there. So I'm not really overreacting on Dylan. I think he'll be there when we need him.
All right. See if Cruz can get going tonight. He was 2 for 7 last night. And by the way, I also say in the midweek game, he hit 2 balls very hard that the official score ruled as errors defensively that I think both should have been hits. One, he smoked one at the third baseman. They ruled it an error. I think that was a bad ruling. And then another one where there was an errant throw at first base, but he had already beaten the throw out. The throw was up the line a little bit, but he had already beaten the throw. I think he should have had 2 hits there. So
LSU's official score?
Yeah.
Who's that?
I believe it's Brian Lazar.
Clean it up, Brian. Come on, dude. It's the home team. Clean it up. You're better than that.
There is something to that. Yes.
Better than that, Brian.
But
I used to want to fight official scores. I'm telling you, I legit wanted to fight them. I did.
We got a break. It's after further review. Ask Ryan to wrap up the hour next.
AFR.
New Orleans Flooring. Get to NOLAflooring.com. Weekend is upon us. You've been a customer several times now of New Orleans Flooring, right?
I have. I talked to Sean this week. Great guy. Came over to the job site, brought some samples, and went over some colors and specs and all that stuff. It was pretty quick, actually.
Save you money?
Oh, yeah. A ton of money. Saved us a ton of money. But what I was most impressed was we called, we asked if they had something in stock, and he got in his vehicle and drove and brought it to
that day.
The job that day.
That's pretty impressive, right? Yeah. That's what happens when you have more than 1 million square foot of product in stock. Whatever you want, you can buy it today. They can install it tomorrow. Like literally, you could buy it today, and their installers can install next day. Most people aren't ready to have the installers come the next day. Like you want to move furniture, whatever the case may be, but they can do it. It's that quick, and also they're going to save you money because they keep the inventory in stock. They cut out the middleman. You save. New Orleans Flooring. Get to NOLAflooring.com. NOLAflooring.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, Our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. Years after the WBRZ investigative unit exposed a scandal at the Council on Aging, where the CEO named herself in a client's will, there's more allegations of funny business. The investigative unit learning she was authorized recently to be the only one who signs checks for the agency, dropping a requirement for 2 signatures. Employees saying she needs more oversight, not less. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hey, remember Don Juan Cigar Bar, a sponsor of Smoke 'em If You Got 'em. This Sunday, if you're looking for something to do, we'll be at Beau Soleil in Baton Rouge, right in the Bocage area. 4 o'clock Sunday, $100 per head. Get you food, booze, a premium cigar, courtesy of Don Juan Cigar Bar. All the $100, 100% of the proceeds, all of it, goes to great military charities. So come on out and hang out with us. I think Gordy's going to be there. T-Bob might be making an appearance. You coming?
Where is it?
I know you're not coming.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
I know you're not going.
Yeah.
I was trying to put you on the spot. But I'll be there. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Sunday, Beau Soleil, 4 o'clock. See you there. Okay, get your questions in for Theriot, little Ask Ryan. Fire away, email us, tweet us, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. John Wilson says, ask Ryan, if you were still playing college ball, who would you want to sign an NIL deal with?
Probably Hudco Roofing would be first.
I am not even mad at you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd probably go with Hudco. I probably want to be a part of the Hometown Hero program with Hudco. I'd probably want to sign a deal with ProCharge.
Yep, makes sense.
Haspel would be a good one.
Haspel, yep.
Great clothes. And then Alpha Customs, because I'd want to pimp my ride.
Ruckus?
Ruckus, because I like shoes. And then Traction.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go work out, and that'd be a good one.
Some really good choices.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Hudco Roofing.
Yeah.
ProCharge EV.
Sure.
Alpha Customs. Haspel. And Ruckus. That'd be your first 5.
Yep.
Yeah, got it. Okay, great. Good choices. Josh Spears. I've taught you well. Always plug the sponsors.
See that?
Really well done.
See how I did that?
Really well done.
I listen.
Although I think a lot of that might have just been innately you. Very, very heady play. Josh Spears, ask Ryan. Coleman or money Sunday? Or he just put Coleman, comma, money. Maybe he means Coleman, then money on Sunday? Blake Money?
Blake Money scares me a little bit. But maybe.
Chase Milosco asked Ryan, why do you look like you just left your 8th grade graduation?
We definitely did not have an 8th grade graduation. I didn't. Sherwood Middle doesn't do that.
Danny Brawick said, I wore my class ring my entire senior year. Everyone did, and I'm Ryan's age.
Nerd. Where'd you go to school?
I went to Catholic. And
Exactly. The only school that does that is Catholic.
All
The
right.
only school.
Brennan Thibodeau asked Ryan, what's more likely to happen? Dylan Cruz breaks the single-season batting average record, or Paul Skeens breaks the strikeout record?
Didn't he already break the strikeout record?
Ben McDonald, 202.
What's he at?
What's he at? You know off top?
164.
164.
86 and 2/3 innings.
If they play in Omaha, he'll break it.
1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 more starts. Yeah, if they play in Omaha, he'll break it.
Yeah, if he plays in Omaha, he'll break it.
Yeah.
All right, hour number 3 coming up right after SportsCenter.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. Call 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. Y'all, Father's Day is right around the bend. Maybe you can get your ladies, get your husband, boyfriend, fiance, dad, brother, whatever it is, get them LASIK for Father's Day.
Bro.
Or what?
I put on Tilly's readers the other day. They worked. I need to go see. I need to go see Blake. John is so pissed.
You're there.
I'm there. I need to go see Blake.
So are you nearsighted or farsighted?
I was trying to read the calories on my watch and I couldn't see it. I put his glasses on. It looked like it was in HD.
Oh wow!
I'm like,
you just never had your eyes checked. You got to go to the Williamson
I
Eye
gotta
Center.
go.
We'll get you set up over there. You got to go see Dr. Blake. Williamson Eye Center. Call 924-2020. 924-2020 or online at WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com for the Williamson Eye Center.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Legendary Cleveland Browns running back Jim Brown has died. He retired after 9 seasons when he was only 30. At the time, he was the NFL's all-time leader in rushing yards, attempts, and touchdowns. He led the league in rushing in 8 of his 9 seasons. Jim Brown was 87. With the Miami Heat winning Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, our Kendrick Perkins says tonight's Game 2 is a must-win for the Celtics, and Jason Tatum must be a big part of it.
We could blame a little bit on Coach Mazzulla and talk about putting him in position to be successful, but you're that guy. Humbly speaking, you're one of the best players in the world. If you want the damn basketball, go get the damn basketball.
Kendrick Perkins on Get Up. Game 2 coverage, Celtics and Heat, starts at 8 Eastern here on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Second round of the PGA Championship live right now on ESPN and ESPN+. Corey Connors and Scotty Scheffler share the lead at 6 under par.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right. You can't handle it.
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again. Guess who's back? Back again.
Lisa, I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour, presented by ProCharge EV. Call 225-397-4593 or go to ProChargeEV.com.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
On ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. 5 o'clock, quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Yeah, Brett?
Yeah, bro.
All right, thanks for being aboard with us here. LSU, Georgia, just about to get underway. Game 2. Tigers won Game 1 yesterday. So we'll keep you updated as we go throughout. We got some AFR deep cuts coming up here shortly.
Oh, I'm excited about that. And I've got a daughter named Georgia.
You do?
I do.
Was Georgie, why did y'all decide to name her Georgia?
I just like the name.
I mean, you got a son named Houston, a daughter named Georgia.
Georgia Grace.
And a daughter named Macy.
Yep.
I mean, one could deduce that those were the places that they were conceived.
No. So Houston, I wanted Houston to be Jackson, but I was playing in Jackson, Tennessee at the time.
I'm sorry.
And I didn't want.
Last week, one of the names that you made fun of was Jackson with an X.
But I didn't name my child that.
Okay.
For the reason. I was playing there, people would make fun of me, and then one of my teammates named his kid Jackson. I'm like, no. And then there was a guy I played against named Houston Street.
Oh, yeah,
remember
absolutely.
The name?
Absolutely.
Arm. And I was like, Houston, I've never heard that name before. I kind of like that. And he was a good guy, and so I went there with Houston. Macy.
And John was good with it?
Yeah. Macy, we wanted to name Macy Marie Elise. My grandmother's middle name and Jana's grandmother's name. But her brother said, no, I'm naming my daughter that. Y'all can't. And then he never had a girl.
Oh.
Yeah, sweet.
You can't have the name.
Thanks, Michael.
You know what? I'll kind of tell you. I'm not really down with the you get to claim the name thing.
Yeah, but Macy's perfect for her, though.
Then you know what? Sure. But you know what happens then? You have two people with the same name in the family. That's okay. That's allowed. They'll carve their own paths in life.
Yeah. So that's what I've got. But I like Georgia. I've always thought Georgia was a pretty name. And it works. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, Georgie.
My dad wanted to name me Rock.
Rock?
Mm-hmm.
My
mom said no.
Like a nickname, or that would be your real name?
My real name
is Rock, yeah?
My mom said no.
Okay. Oh, wait, Mary. Way to step up.
She stepped up.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Rock Theriot. What was Randy thinking?
It's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure.
I
with
mean,
Rock.
you can't,
I mean, what if you ended up, well, I don't want to stereotype anything, but you know what I mean. Like,
I know where you were going.
Where was I going?
I can't say it on air.
No, it was nothing you could say on air. No. What were you thinking?
Well, I'm not going to say it.
Oh, that bad?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, not that bad, but yeah, some people would think it was that bad.
Oh. I mean, just if you have the name Rock, you're just thinking, man, you're going to be a professional ball player.
Yep. That's exactly what you're thinking.
You know?
Yep.
Not an accountant. I mean, Rock Theriot is
that's a manly. I mean, that's
Yeah. You're like a welder.
Hard.
Yeah.
Like
with a blowtorch.
Grizzled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rock.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't get named Rock, thank goodness.
And not like a nickname off your last name, like Newt Rockney. You know? That's a difference. I mean, that's his last name is Rockney. He's a nickname Rock. Get that.
I'm not mad at Randy for wanting to step out of the box a little bit. You know? What if my dad would have named me Randy? What if my name was Randy?
Randy Theriot? Oh, that's a good name.
Randall is a good name. Randy.
When we were naming
it's a tough name.
When we were naming Drew, I bought a name book.
I did the same thing.
I wanted to know the meaning of names.
Okay.
But then I also looked up what names, because it matters. Like that, your kid's got that name forever. Like when they walk into school, when they walk into business meetings, it matters.
Bro, if you walk into school and they call and roll and they say Preston and people laugh, that's it.
Nah,
yeah,
Preston's
yeah.
not that name. No, but
no, Preston's not a good name.
No, that's not a bad name. Come on,
it's not a good name.
Yeah, whatever. Just
being honest.
No, but so I wanted there to be intention behind the name. I thought there needed to be some purpose or meaning. And
like if you were a girl and your name was Julie.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's not.
I think sometimes, look, when you talk about kids' names, you'll offend people for sure.
I'm just being real. Nobody names their kid Julie anymore.
But I think sometimes parents get really kind of cute, or they try to get creative and neat. Like Erica's middle name is Lee, Leigh. So if we had a girl, she wanted something with Lee in it, like something with
Brandy Lee.
So, or I think one that she might have liked was Riley, like Ryleigh.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah,
Riley.
And I was like,
you call her Rye.
I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. I was way more traditional, I think, in that sense. So when you're picking a name, it's kind of like multiplying by 0. If one of you is not on board, then you ain't on board. So I was like, we're not doing that.
You just put your foot down.
I did. My girl name was Claire. I love the name Claire. So if we had a daughter, that was probably going to be her name.
What middle name with any significance? Claire, really?
Hadn't thought about it. But
when's the last time somebody named their kid Jennifer? 1985?
I don't know. Erica's sister's Jennifer. That's funny.
Okay, when was she born?
70.
There we go.
Yeah, no, Jay's 47.
Okay, so 70 was 75?
That was my sister-in-law.
Yeah, so last time
Jennifer.
Somebody's name is Jennifer was 1975. Then they stopped. You can't do that anymore.
No, I got friends named Jennifer that are my age. But still, yeah, in the 80s. With Drew, we have really gone on a tangent here, haven't we?
What about Marty? Have you heard of anybody named Marty in the last 30 years?
I know Martin. I know a lot of Martins.
How old are they?
30s.
Yeah. Marty McFly. That was Back to the Future stuff. They named him after Marty McFly.
But I really wanted to ask you about Aaron Judge tipping pitches.
Hey, I saw one
on.
I'm not on social media anymore, but I saw one earlier today. Padden, Paden, Padden.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never seen it before.
Me either. Never seen that.
It was interesting to me. I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, with Erica wanted a monosyllabic name.
I don't know what that means.
One syllable.
Okay.
So we were down to Drew, Clark, and Luke were our three.
I love Clark.
I loved Clark too.
Oh my gosh, why didn't you go Clark?
And I kind of was like Clark.
That's perfect.
Clark Kent, like Superman.
Yeah.
I loved Clark. And you know why Erica completely ruled it out?
The chocolate bar.
No. Nothing to do with that at all. She ruled out Clark because of Clark Griswold. Because my cousins and I love Christmas Vacation.
Who doesn't?
And we always quote the old lady when she's like, "Don't push me down, Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Is Rusty still in the Navy, Clark?" And so Erica was like, "I'm terrified. That's all you're gonna call my kid Clark like that."
Man, I
like Aunt Bethany.
I like Clark a lot.
I know. So that's why Clark went now.
What was it? Drew, Clark, and then what was the other one?
Luke was the other. Those were our three.
Yeah, nobody does Luke anymore.
We didn't do Luke. I don't know why we ultimately picked Drew over Luke. It's not Andrew. It's Drew.
It's not Andrew?
It's not Andrew. It's Drew.
What's his middle name?
Benjamin. Drew Benjamin. Yep. Okay. How about that for an opening segment of the 5 o'clock hour? Muse, how did you get your name?
So my mom actually had some of the weird stuff. Like, we all have 7 letters in our name. All of us. Even
it explains so much. That's how he got his drug habit.
that doesn't
From his
explain
mom.
that doesn't explain anything.
Yeah, unless you're on drugs, you don't do that type of stuff. I don't think.
No, that's not true at all. I mean, y'all literally just spent an entire segment on odd things people do to name their child, and drugs never came up.
What's your middle name?
Paul.
I mean, if that isn't the most standard name I've ever heard in my life, I don't know what is. Matthew Paul. Paul, what's your middle name?
Joseph.
Jeez.
Matthew Paul. Paul Joseph. I'm Matthew George.
Wow.
What's your middle name, Theriot?
Stewart with a W. Nobody has that. Y'all are about the. I mean, these are the three. So we got Matthew George.
Yeah.
Matthew Paul.
Matthew Paul.
Paul Joseph.
And Paul Joseph. Boy, y'all's
all
parents really went out on a limb, didn't they?
They're all biblical names.
Yeah,
Every single one of
exactly.
them.
I mean, just
there's nothing wrong with having a biblical name. I think that's
George Jefferson wasn't in the Bible.
Well, George was my great grandfather, my dad's grandfather, who died of a heart attack when my mom was pregnant with me. So that's why they gave me George as my middle name. So Matthew George. George started family.
Not George Jefferson.
Not George Jefferson, no. And my mom wanted me to be Matthew. She did not want me to be Matt. She wanted me to be Matthew.
Does she call you Matthew?
She does.
She does. I think I've heard her say that.
She wanted me to be Matthew, but went to school and teachers call you Matt. You just become Matt. So I'm Matt.
You want me to start calling you Matthew?
No, I'm good. I mean, you can. I don't get I'll answer to it. I absolutely will. There are people that do. There are people that call me Matthew. I mean, that's my name. I love my name. It's great. I'll answer to Matthew. I have some friends that call me Matthew.
You know what name I don't like? Will.
Why not?
I don't know. I like William.
William. Yeah.
I don't like when people shorten the name William to Will.
Why? I know lots of Wills.
What about Bill? What if they shorten William to Bill?
Yeah, where did that come from?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know that either. That's a good question. My Gramps is who's 90, by the way. Shout out Gramps.
Yeah.
He's William Henry Mumford. And he goes by Bill.
That's a pretty good name.
That's a great name.
I mean, the whole thing is good.
Oh yeah.
I got a question.
Strong.
It is strong. How do you get Dick out of Richard?
Yep.
Why do people? No, seriously.
It's after further review. Hit the thing.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Rouse's. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. You get to Rouse's this weekend. Hey, almost grad time. How about that?
Turn up.
Grad time, turn up. Also, they got great specials this weekend and great sales this weekend over at Rouse's. I always encourage you, check out the weekly ad. If you go to the website, rouses.com, you can hit the weekly ad up there, or you can go to any of their social media, and you can see all of the specials that they have, all the individual sales that they have right now over at any of the Rouse's locations. How about this? The 3-day meat sale going on this weekend as well. 88 cents per pound on sirloin chops. Are you kidding me? How about this, dude? This is so good. 3 days. It's a 3-day sale. family size Oreos for $2.97.
Ooh, love Oreos.
3-day sale. It's going on this weekend over at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. The 3-day sale at Rouse's.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. The cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. Where personalities clash and chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, they're in the bottom of the first over in Athens, no score. LSU got a couple guys on the first, couldn't get them in. Georgia batting right now. 1 out, 1 on, 3-2 count for the 3-hole hitter. We'll keep you posted as we move throughout here. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service, name brand tires. Nope. I got to purge that. I don't need to use that line. I got to purge that out of my brain. But sometimes it's just like muscle memory, you know? I just say it like that. Hey, vacations. Family vacations. Mm-hmm. We're actually leaving next Friday.
Where are you going?
I don't want to tell you.
Just get a bumper sticker, okay? That's all I ask. Just get a bumper sticker.
You know what? I'm not going to let you embarrass me.
Just get a bumper sticker.
We're going to one of the, I can't remember if it's one of those, one of the beach towns. I don't know if it's Santa Rosa or Rosemary. It's one of those. We're going to one of those.
Of course you are.
And I'm excited about it.
You guys going to eat brunch while you're there?
Probably.
Yeah, cool.
You know, probably so. Every day. Yeah. I'm going to swim in the private pool at the house we're renting.
Take a pic with a white linen shirt on the beach.
No, I don't have a white linen shirt. Does Haspel have any of those?
Yeah.
Well, not linen, but they'll have seersucker.
They've got it. Yeah, they've got these linen shorts are from Haspel.
Oh, they're linen?
Yeah.
I thought, wait, so they have more than just seersucker.
No, this is linen.
Oh.
Linen shorts.
Oh.
Yeah, they're so comfortable.
How quickly will Haspel
tomorrow.
Wait, no, like if I order it today, it's not going to be here tomorrow.
Tomorrow, the next day, 1 or 2 days.
Really?
Absolutely.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I need to go check. All right, so Haspel.com. No, I'm serious. So like we're leaving on. I'm starting to talk about shop bills. We're leaving. We're leaving on Friday.
Okay.
So next week, you and Muse.
Okay, I'm down.
And then the next Friday, you and Muse.
Okay.
I'm out. I got 6 show days off. We're leaving Friday, so I'm here through Thursday next week. We're leaving Friday, and then I'm off the whole next week. Perfect. And then I'll be back the Monday after LSU wins their regional and punch their tickets to Supers. Okay. I need some. I do need.
Okay.
I need some super preppy beachwear.
So Tilly and I talked about this today. He needs swimsuits.
Okay.
And he needs shorts. But so you can go to Haspel.com.
Okay.
You can get your swimsuits, your shorts, whether it be linen like these. They have like the sports nice shorts, but you can also get the flip-flops that aren't the trashy flip-flops that you would need for the beach. Like these are nice with the leather flip-flop deal too over there, like that as well. Then after a day at the beach, you want to throw on a comfortable shirt. They got the button-down short sleeve seersucker. I'm a fan of it. Perfect beachwear.
Okay.
If you wanted to go with the shirt, and then just the regular polos too. Like it's not just the suits.
Look at the website. They got 30 to 75% off right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at the. See, I like the orange ones right there. I think that's like the peach.
Are those
color.
linen shorts?
Those are seersucker, I believe. But
Okay,
they do have the
shorts.
seersucker.
Look at all the shirts.
They do have the linen on sale.
30 to 75% off. They do have some spring colors in there too. Ooh.
Like the blue with the blue buttons.
I like that lime green. Okay. All right, got to check this out. All right, so Haspel.com. Code Riot10, still good?
Yeah, code Riot10. But yeah, man, I mean, the perfect for like the beach attire. You want to put together a few outfits. You know what I mean? But I promise you, people aren't going to be wearing the same bathing suit you got. You know.
Ooh, that shirt has crawfish on them. That's cool. All right. Haspel.com. Use the code Riot10 and save 10%. But they have sale items right now 30 to 70% off. That's pretty cool. Spring sale over at Haspel.com. Okay. It's time to do deep cuts. I'll come back to talk about shop.
Yeah,
well, what I was doing was I was saying, look, going on a beach on a road trip, get your car right, take it to shop bills. You need the oil change. You need your tires rotated. You need to buy new tires.
You need to do that before you go on the road trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want to break down in the tunnel in Mobile when you're going to the beach.
God, that would be terrible.
Exactly. So go to shop bills.
Have people broken down in the tunnel?
I'm sure.
It's got to have happened. Well, I'm sure there have been car wrecks in the tunnel at times before. But can you imagine like breaking down or running out of gas in the tunnel?
That's happened.
I mean, it's got to have happened, but at the same time, it's not like it's that long. You know, it's not like it's that long of a stretch of highway.
What if you blow out a tire though? But you could not blow out a tire if you go to shop bills.
Yeah, you need to go to shop bills. They got 18 locations. Shout out to Chi Get the Yo 83 on Twitter, who said, Matt, y'all ran a whole segment on my 5 o'clock ride home about kids' names with a laughing face emoji.
Did he like it?
I think so. Yeah, he put a laughing face emoji.
Well, if you'd have tuned...
Chi Get the Yayo 83. What is that?
I don't know, but if you'd have tuned in anywhere from like 2013 to 2017 or 18, that's what the whole show was.
That was the whole Riot Radio.
That was the whole... Before Gordy told me I couldn't drink beers on air. But that was the whole show.
Yeah, you didn't drink beers on air.
Not on air, but I would pregame.
Did you really? I didn't know this. You would really drink before you came in here? No.
That was like right when I retired. I didn't have anything else to do. I was like, anti-do anything. Yeah.
Wow, didn't know.
And Gordy was like, hey, bro, like, you need to stop. You can't do that. That's why I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know that was illegal.
Did he know that? Like, how did he know you had been drinking? See, this would be really good for deep cuts. I mean, so for those who don't know, we're about to do deep cuts. AFR turned 13 years old in February. We said, hey, look, we got this treasure trove of audio from the show. Let's pull up like an old clip from years and years and years ago. The reason we did, because we played the first time Theriot was ever on the show as a guest in 2010 when he was playing with the Cubs at the time and came on just as a guest. I mean, we didn't really know each other well or anything like that. But so we played a clip of that. People really liked it. So we're like, hey, look, let's delve into the treasure trove here and see what we can do. So, Muse, you want to set up deep cuts here?
Yeah, well, this one's quick here.
We need
honestly.
imaging, too. We need deep cuts imaging.
Yeah, we do need deep cuts imaging.
Dude, can we get a picture of like you when you were a kid and me when I was a kid, and that could be the imaging for it?
Well, imaging is audio.
Oh, no, it's not. Imaging is a picture.
I know what you mean. But in radio parlance, imaging is like all of the audio and the production that you hear that accompanies things. So like, Can you play like when?
Why wouldn't you just say audio?
Because
the cuts is the audio. The words are the audio. Or can we? Why wouldn't you say, "Can I get some music"? Then it wouldn't confuse people or me. My bad.
Go ahead, Muse.
Anyway, this is you two guys from August the 14th of 2015. I'm going to be honest. It's only a 15-second clip, so I don't have a lot of context. It doesn't really need a lot of context. I'd imagine Theriot was just kind of being Theriot, and you were having a hard time keeping him on topic.
All right, August 14th of 2015.
Yep.
So LSU would have been in fall camp already. Saints would have been in training camp. This was a Friday in August. I don't know if so 2015, we were already back with Drew. So we'd already gone to Houston and come back by this point. So you were doing at least one full, I don't think we'd gone to the second hour yet, but you were doing a full hour with us already.
Let's hear it.
Okay,
anyway,
all right, here we go.
Yeah, this happened.
8-year-old Ryan showed up today. Look. He's got a pen hanging out of his nose.
Yeah. I'll give you $100 if you put that in your mouth. No, don't you do it. Oh, we're going.
$100.
Oh,
Give me $100.
I don't have it. I have much.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna give it to you.
Have $100.
You ate my boogers.
Do you remember what happened after that? Do you remember what I remember this?
You ate my booger?
You give me $100. You don't remember what you did?
No, what did I do?
The next week, you brought me $100 in $1 bills, and you made it rain in studio.
I remember now.
Yes, you
got to find that.
You had we'd have to find the video, which I bet would exist if Periscope still existed. Or remember, we did the show on Facebook Live back then. You walked in studio, you had 100 ones. You went to did you go to the bank?
I don't know.
You don't remember this?
Yeah,
Do you remember
throwing them in the air.
So we were in the downstairs studio. You had $101 bills, and you made it rain in the studio. I picked them all up. And you know what's interesting? I kept that wad of hundreds, and I remember this because we went to New Orleans the next weekend, or at some point right then. I don't remember for what, but I had that wad of hundreds to and I used it to tip and all that sort of stuff. Tip, Uber drivers or whatever, cabs, doorman at the hotel. The whole time we were there, and but I had this wad of cash. It was $101 bills, and I put a 20 around the outside of it and kept a rubber band, so everybody thought it was just like this,
yeah, of course. Who doesn't do that?
Right. You know what I mean? So anyway, it was what were we going to in New Orleans? Maybe it was a concert. It was something.
You ate my booger, though.
I didn't eat your booger. You had the pen in your nose like this. You were just doing this with a pen in your nose. And you're like, I was like, 8-year-old Ryan showed up. And you're like, I'll give you $100. I just went like this.
You ate it.
I didn't eat it. I just went like.
Yeah, you did.
I put my, I just put. Oh, yeah.
You ate my boogers.
No. So did the booger part probably didn't make contact with any part of my body.
Maybe though, it could have fallen off.
Maybe, and for $100.
For $100, there you go.
I'd eat a booger.
Yeah.
Who cares? All the booger is just dust and all the. I mean, boogers is like your nose is, and all your nose hairs is your body's natural air filter.
Yeah.
So you breathe in dust and dander and whatever. Like that's all that is. Just a it's just all. Yeah. The same
There's
crap.
Nothing
that
wrong
you
with
breathe
eating.
in your
There's
nose.
nothing wrong with eating boogers.
Whatever.
I saw a lady eating a booger yesterday in her car.
Did you really?
I did.
In her car?
She picked her nose.
Oh,
I passed her
no.
up. I looked in the rearview mirror. She was picking her nose. I looked in the rearview mirror and she put it in her mouth. I promise. She got a black Mercedes. I saw it yesterday on Perkins. So if you drive a black Mercedes and wear big glasses and eat your boogers, I saw you yesterday.
I bet her name is Jennifer.
There's a good chance.
It's after further
Julie.
Or Julie. All right, it's after further review. How about that deep cut? That's when now I got
good job, Muse.
Now I'm fascinated to know. I cannot remember what I did in 2015 to where I need, because I guarantee I know I went to New Orleans and was it a Saints game? I went to a Saints game. That's what it was.
It's a big fat wad of ones in your pocket.
It was a Saints game. That's what it was. Went to a Saints game. And you know what? You may not have brought me the hundreds the next week because in August, that wouldn't have made sense. But I probably stayed on you about giving me my money. And whenever you finally did, I was going to so I'd been a Friday, and we went to the Saints game that Sunday. And I remember I had my wad of bills. Yep, that's what it was. It was for a Saints game. Wow, AFR deep cuts. Okay, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging with us here. Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Don Juan, proud sponsor of Smoke 'em If You Got 'em this Sunday over at Beausoleil. So in Baton Rouge, if you're going to be in Baton Rouge, great event. You can go to smokeembr.com, smokeembr, smokeembr.com to buy your tickets. $100 a head. They get you food, beverages, free premium cigar, live music. Going to be a great time. We'll look forward to seeing you there. I'll be there. Hope to see a lot of you there this Sunday. All the proceeds, 100%, go to military charity. So we'll see you on Sunday for Smoke 'em If You Got 'em, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Okay, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll update LSU, Georgia. We'll get to Ask Ryan to wrap up the show here in about 15 minutes from right now. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, if you own a grocery store, but you don't drink beer, would you still sell beer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because why? People drink beer.
People drink beer.
Yeah. So if you own a business and you don't drive an electric vehicle, shouldn't you still have an EV charger at your business?
If you're smart.
Because people drive EVs and they need a place to charge them.
Mm-hmm.
So, two benefits to you. You're a business owner. You have a commercial building. Number one, you put a charger out there, someone with an EV, they stop at your business to charge their vehicle. They come in your place and shop. Or they eat at your restaurant because you got a charger. That's one. Or two, you generate passive income because there's tap-to-pay options on EV chargers. Why wouldn't you? ProChargeEV.com. You want to learn more? ProChargeEV.com. Have that conversation. Learn more. ProChargeEV.com.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, cruising along here in the 5 o'clock hour, and glad to have you aboard. LSU and Georgia right now, game 2. Georgia leading 2-0, bottom of the second. It was a 2-run homer.
Oh, we stink. It's over.
A 2-run homer. Opposite field, the short porch and right. Bulldogs are up. 1 out, 1 on right now for Georgia, bottom 2. One of the questions we've had about this LSU team, and a lot of people have started to ask, given the issues that have presented with the pitching staff. And look, there are some parts of this that are objectively bad. Like when you look at this team's staff ERA, after Paul Skeens, everybody's seen the stat a bajillion times. You're talking about one of the worst staff ERAs in the SEC. So people have asked, how much of this falls on Wes Johnson? The staff ERA is 4.64. Without Paul Skeens, that ERA balloons, I believe it's somewhere in the 7s. So how much?
First, I don't think 4.64 in college baseball is bad.
It's not.
Yeah.
But you have Paul Skeens, who's got a sub-2 ERA, who's pitched 86 and 2/3 innings.
But you could say that for probably every school.
No, you can't.
A lot of the schools, they've got guys that are really good.
Right, not with a sub-2 ERA, not with a 1.76 ERA and 86 innings pitched. Paul Skeens is a complete anomaly in college baseball. Like that, he is not only a big leaguer, he's a dominant big leaguer, pitching against college kids.
He's a guy. No, I get it. Look, man, I think we have one of the best pitching coaches in the country, and that is undisputable. I think you look at Wes Johnson's track record, what he's done not only in the college game but also the professional game, and I think we're fortunate to have him and get him here. I know it's not for a lack of work, but when you lose the guys that we lost to injury that are key pieces to the puzzle. We talked about this last week. The formula was laid out and how you win ball games, and then that formula is changed, and it is ever changing. And we haven't found the right mix just yet. Of guys that can contribute. Middle of the year or early in the year when you lose Chase Shores, right when you're going, oh, he's the guy. Like Chase Shores is the guy.
Dude's just 6'8" who throws 100.
You bring this guy in, we're getting outs, and then he goes down. And so. Yeah, the knee-jerk reaction is, the pitching coach. But the truth is, he can't go out there and pitch for him, it is what it is, But I just got to go back to the track record, what this guy's done in the past, the way he approaches the pitchers, and the way he works. And I think it's injuries. I really do.
Well, Paul Skeens, just to if I could punctuate the point, Paul Skeens, his ERA is 1.77. Hagen Smith from Arkansas is second in the league at 2.56. Devin Futrell from Vandy's 2.93. Hunter Owen from Vandy's 3.16. Tommy Vail at Auburn, that's the pitcher Vandy chose to pitch backwards against LSU and held Tommy Vail for game 2, pitched really well. He's at 3.34. Zach Lee from Kentucky, 3.42. I guess my point is, I can even point to Chase Dolander, who's going to be a first rounder.
Yeah.
Chase Dolander's ERA is 4.35, and that's not even an SEC only ERA. That's overall. If I were to look at his conference games only for Dolander, hang on 1 second, I'll go to the individual stats. In SEC only games. Dolander isn't even in the top 15 in SEC only. I'd have to go to their website and see it. 15th is Brandon Sproat from Florida, who's got a 4.64 ERA.
But back to the
I guess my point is Paul Skeens.
Yeah, no, I get it.
He's a total outlier.
Back to the Wes Johnson thing, and let's talk about Paul Skeens. I don't know his numbers last year. I do know what his velocity was in a league that was not nearly as good as the SEC. So I've seen what Wes Johnson can do with a pitcher like Paul Skeens and develop him into the pitcher that we see now.
That's completely fair.
Who I think everybody can agree is a major league ready arm. Was not that guy last year.
I think Skeens has benefited from, and by the way, this isn't my own personal opinion. This is from asking that question. How did Paul Skeens go from prospect to, oh my God, he's going to pitch in the major leagues next year? Mm-hmm. And they said it's several things. Number one, it's the schedule at the Service Academy. right? I mean, you're not just focused on baseball.
Sure.
You're in the service academy. You're not just taking care of your body to pitch, right? You're doing a lot of other physical ability. They took out hitting, so it took some of the physical stress off his body, so he's not worrying about offense. Pitching labs, the technology that they have at LSU that they don't have at Air Force necessarily, allowing him to look at nuance and form and all that stuff. And then Wes Johnson was the other thing that people said was like, we got one of the best pitching coaches in the country working with him, helping him with velo and recovery and all of that sort of stuff. To your point, last year at Air Force, Skeens had a 2.73 ERA. He started 15 games through 85 innings. Had 96 strikeouts and 30 walks in 85 innings. So by comparison, he's at 86 innings right now. Last year was 85 and 2/3. This year he's at 86 and 2/3. So literally 1 inning difference from his whole season a year ago to now. Last year he was at 96 strikeouts. Right now he's at 164. And he had 30 walks to 15.
In the SEC.
In the SEC, yes. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yes, you are right. You have got to give Wes Johnson credit for Paul Skeens' development, for Javen Coleman ramping back up. I think you also have to look at Gavin Guidry and say, look, Gavin Guidry wasn't pitching in the fall. It wasn't until they showed up, and he wasn't going to be an everyday player. And they're like, all right, you want to start pitching? And now they've gotten to the point where he's a guy they trust. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that are evidence of success. But when there's so much expectation like this team has, when things don't go well, we tend to accentuate the negative. And I think that's a lot of what's happened. Like, I mean, I pointed this out earlier. Thatcher Hurd yesterday for 5 innings was brilliant. But because of what had happened last week with the bullpen struggles, he gives up the 2 homers in the ninth. It's the only thing people want to talk about. And I understand why. I mean, I do understand, like, that's a big deal. But if Jordan Thompson doesn't drop a pop-up in the 8th, it's irrelevant.
Right.
The game's over. Yeah. So, anyway, I just thought I'd ask. And then the other thing that people do ask about is pitch sequence, pitch calling.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times where you're on 3-ball counts with men on base, and they're throwing breaking balls. Yeah. I mean, the game 3 against Auburn, watching Christian Little continue to try to snap breaking balls when he couldn't throw a strike was stunning to me. I mean, you've got to be willing to go out there and throw a fastball, right?
Well, yeah, no, one would think, but the pitching coaches, the guys calling pitches, whether it be the catcher, the coach, or even the pitcher when he's shaking, I think the best trait that they can have is to never give in. Like we did it in high school this year, pitching backwards, 3-2 breaking balls, 0-0 breaking balls. If the kid can't execute, then the kid shouldn't be out there pitching. Like, I would rather not give up the double in the gap. If you're on LSU staff, which, number 1 team in the country, and you're out there pitching, we trust you enough to give you the ball. You should be able to execute the pitch that's called.
You rather walk in and run?
No, I would not rather walk in and run.
You got to throw a strike.
I get it. No, I understand that. And there's certain situations. But the 3-0 breaking ball, I get, like, I don't hate it. Like to me, the pitcher has to be able to execute that pitch. Now, the flip side of that I'll say from an offensive standpoint, is hitting's hard.
Yeah. Make the guy swing the bat.
Just throw it down the middle, and most of the time, he's going to get himself out.
Yeah.
Like 8 out of 10 times, he's probably going to get himself out. And so there's a theory behind that. I mean, look, I played behind Greg Maddux and watched him growing up as a kid, and then was able to play behind him. And I mean, that was his deal. Like, here it is, buddy. Hit it if you can.
Yeah. All right. It's After Further Review, brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I was over at Aesthetic earlier today, as a matter of fact. If it's HRT, if it's semaglutide, I know semaglutide is something that a lot of people have heard about, read about, and right now it's hard to get. Well, the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana has relationships with pharmacies out of the state. They can get it. Learn more at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. And by the way, Evolve X is the latest non-surgical body contouring treatment.
Dude, I wanted to do that.
We can do it.
Have you done it?
I haven't done it yet, but I want to.
Let's do that.
It's one of those things, too, where, like, they can put you on the machine, like, set it, and walk away. Like,
It's just the best workout you'll ever have.
It's pretty crazy. Like, I've seen it demoed.
Okay.
Anyway, it's Evolve X. It's at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Ask about it. If you're going to the beach, it's pool season, you want to shed those last few pounds before the beach.
When are you going to the beach?
Friday.
Let's do it next week. Let's do it next week. See if we can do it.
Okay. All right. TheAntiAgingClinics.com. TheAntiAgingClinics.com. Okay, their top three in Athens. Georgia leading LSU 2-0. It was a 2-run homer, bottom of the first for the Bulldogs, opposite way. Trey Morgan at the plate, and the game just buffered. I'm going to assume that fell. It looked like it fell. Did it fall? It fell. Okay. So first and third or first and second? Just, grab the mic. Thanks, Muse.
Second and third.
Second and third.
How many outs?
2, Travinsky up.
Okay, second and third.
Homer.
2 outs. Travinsky up. Hopefully the Tigers can do some damage here and get rolling. All right, we got one segment to go. We'll do some Ask Ryan. Get your questions in. You can ask Theriot anything about anything, so fire away. Email us, tweet us, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, or text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Ask Ryan to wrap up a busy AFR next.
AFR.
Buying or selling commercial or residential. If you need a realtor, you need Darren James. I'm going to give you Darren's cell. I give it to you every single day. Isn't a joke. It's not some community line. It's not an office line. This is Darren James's cell phone number. Here it is. 335-7666. 335-7666. Call him. Text him right now. Say, what's up, Darren? Heard Scone talking about you. You need to sell your home? Call Darren James. On the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1% of realtors in America. Think about that for a second. The top 1% of realtors in America. That's not subjective. That's based on the number of homes sold. Nobody has better systems and processes in place to get your home sold faster for more money than Darren James. Proof is in the numbers. And you will always have an exceptional customer service experience with Darren James. 335-7666 or agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look.
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play. with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Get on by, see our friends at Don Juan in Town Center. Go load up that humidor at Don Juan Cigar Company, or pop into Don Juan Cigar Bar. Enjoy a premium cocktail, a premium cigar. Lounge in one of the comfortable leather chairs. Watch some TV. Watch the Tigers tonight. Don Juan Cigar Bar. Shout out Don Juan. All right, we'll wrap up with Ask Ryan. John Neuser. Neucere. Neuser? Let's go with Neuser. Ask Ryan. Would HUDCO and or Traction be interested in purchasing a sponsorship spot for our 10U All-Star softball team, advertising in Central Livingston, Baton Rouge, and Gulfport?
Yeah, sure. That'd be awesome.
You better not commit because he's going to follow up on you.
We'd be interested in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in that, you're going to get 1,000 more. Be ready for it.
That's fine.
Okay. And then you're going to have to tell people no or ignore them because I know you.
Or I'm just going to sponsor them all.
No, you're not. I know you.
I love to sponsor.
I know, but you have a tough time telling people no. And then what happens is you end up letting people down because you say yes and then you don't follow through.
Yeah.
Right?
Scratch that. No, dude, I'm out.
Devin Kelly. Ask Ryan why he doesn't answer his texts.
Yeah, I'm not good at that either. I get a lot of them. I get a lot of them.
I get a lot of them.
I get a lot of
I literally have a text app on my phone where everybody listening to this show can text me.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry. Do you want to play the game where we complain or compare who gets more direct messages from people in a given day? Do you want to do that? Do you want to play that game?
I get a lot of
You
them.
will lose, friend.
Yeah.
You will lose badly.
Yeah, I don't know. I get a lot of them.
Chris says, LOL, Ryan Stew sounds like a horrible Great Depression era meal.
Ryan Stew.
Ryan Stew.
That's good, yeah.
Ryan Stew. That is good.
That's good. That was good.
Ryan C. said, I'm a CPA and have a kid named Luke. I'm feeling attacked this segment.
My bad. Yeah.
Everybody.
No, listen. That's sorry about that. Luke's not that bad.
Abigail said, Kaylee, K-A-Y-L-E-I-G-H, is offended by your Lee comment. And by the way, so Carly, of course, Carly McCord, her sister is Kaylee. And Kaylee spells it, I don't know if she has a Y, K-A-Y-L-E-I-G-H. So she spells it like we were explaining. If you weren't here at the beginning of the hour, we're talking about names. So it's no offense intended to anyone.
No, not at all.
Beautiful names, great names. It's just, there's, I think, different preferences for people. But Theriot is the one who started the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm sorry, all you guys. Name Jennifer.
Dion Santiago asked Ryan, are you a sock, shoe, or sock, shoe guy? Do you go sock, shoe, or do you put both socks on, then put your shoes on?
Both socks on.
Yeah, me too. I go both socks and then put on my shoes. Yeah. No, same thing. Yeah, Paulie, both socks and shoes.
No, I'm sock, shoe.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing. It works just the same.
Weirdo.
That is your opinion.
No, you're weird. Make that the poll. I bet you haven't put a poll question, have you? Yeah. Let's make. Look. No worries, Muse. Just do it every day. But that's a good question. I guarantee you'll lose. Overwhelming minority. You and Hunt with his blue cheese. You with your sock shoe thing. Ryan, would you take a guaranteed $1 million or coin flip for $1 billion?
Coin flip.
No hesitation whatsoever.
No hesitation whatsoever.
Why?
That's easy.
Why?
Because I could make $1 million. Making a billy is
okay.
That's coin flip all day long.
Got to sell a lot of roofs at HUDCO to make a Billy, don't you?
Bro, to make a Billy is like, yeah.
HUDCO Roofing. Is HUDCO going to be $1 billion company one day?
Yeah.
I would love it if HUDCO was $1 billion company. Well, for a lot of reasons, I would love it. But, man, HUDCO would be like the #1 NIL player.
I'd sponsor everybody's Little League team.
Oh, my God.
I would sponsor stuff that doesn't even need to be sponsored.
Look, we talk about the HUDCO Hometown Heroes program. It's literally something where any athlete in any sport at any school can get an NIL deal. Go to HUDCOroofing.com, click the Hometown Heroes link, and you can learn more about it. Had some hail this week as well.
We can't get to Billy without inspections, and I want to go do inspections next week.
HUDCOroofing.com.
I'd like to go do that.
HUDCOroofing.com. Had hail this week.
Yeah.
And a lot of rain.
Sure did.
Start with a roofing inspection from HUDCO.
Call me.
Call Theriot.
It'll ring my phone.
364-1007. If someone calls that number right now, it'll ring you?
Yes.
Will you answer?
Yes.
364-1007. Call Theriot right now. 364-1007. 225-364-1007. Literally call right now. Theriot's going to answer. All right, we're getting out of here. Theriot, Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have a great weekend. Go Tigers. See you Monday 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com with now 30 offices across 11 different states. They opened up their newest office in Santa Barbara, California. Wow. How about that? So 30 offices. If you weigh or measure something, they sell, service, rent the products that you use to weigh and measure. By the way, we love talking about military here as well. And I always tell you about Michelli and how Michelli has a great careers page. Well, if you go to Michelli.com and hit the careers tab, there's a drop down where there's a veterans career tab right there. And Michelli is part of the DoD Skill Bridge program, where it's obviously sponsored, and it's a program for service members to gain civilian work experience through specific industry training and apprenticeships. So if you are active duty military or you're already back in civilian life and you're looking for that next step in your career, Michelli can help. Go to Michelli.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. The cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb Appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.